Bims seem to be very loudly screeching at me that there's enemies nearby.
Yes, and you see the movement after Bim screeches. You definitely see forms moving down to where the wagon is.
Thanks, Bims, for telling me where I'm at. I appreciate it, buddy. So then I turn around in my saddle and I do the hand sign for enemies. So I guess they're on both. You see them now on both sides. So I
Mm-hmm.
make funny arm signals trying to get everybody's attention that there's bad guys up ahead.
Which is good. And
Actually, what I do, I take Sim's, or was not Sim's, Bim's cowbell out. I think he was wearing a cowbell.
exactly.
Is he wearing anything jingly?
Maybe so. He picked up a lot of items. It's a fairy dragon's nature to kind of pick up things. You do see something dangly around Bim's neck. Could it be a cowbell? You never know.
Oh, bless him.
Poor Bims. Poor Bims.
Maybe.
He likes to collect things.
I will move straight ahead.
Okay.
And then I will move a second movement.
Mm-hmm. You can go up the incline where she went up if you want. Willow did. It's up to you. That's this incline right here. All right. Alrighty.
That's it.
All right. So then next, before you go, Freya, one of the groups of people gets to go, and this one moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 5, 6. So going here. Now this is an incline here. These guys are not necessarily. These two are on the incline right here. These guys are down at your level. So you can definitely make them out, Mike. They're moving in. And those look like, the best way I can put it is they look like humanoid thugs of some sort. They're not wearing heavy armor. But they are wearing heavy enough armor. It's better than leather. You can tell. Freya. Heroic pose for Veritas. Come and get some. Yeah, exactly. As he rides them down. Now, surprisingly, it doesn't look like anybody's eyeballing Nikademus up there on the ridge. But again, he is laying low on his mastiff. So it may look like an animal, but it doesn't look like a humanoid on an animal. He's low in the saddle. Trying to have a little stealth. And I do emphasize a little. Alright. Your turn, Freya. So I gotta get the hit points down on these guys. Alright, the archers are what? Okay. So, okay, turn to Balam and say, well, you know what they say. Yep. All right, so you get there and hop on one of the horses. Nice. He will go ahead then and probably stay with, because somebody's got to stay with the cart itself. Otherwise, you're going to have some problems if they get spooked and start running off. All right. So that takes us then to these guys. All right. These two 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. All right, this one is going to do a perception to spot you, Veritas. See how good he spots you. All right, what's his plus on perception here? Because again, they may see movement, but as per se of plunking you with an arrow, they got to really hone in on you. Otherwise, they're not going to hit you. Ooh, God, he's got a +5 perception. That could be ugly. All right, +5 perception. He rolls a 16, so he does get to see you. So he's going to light an arrow at you from that distance. Let's see what his to hit is. All right. They get a +4. The longbow. All right. So here we go. First shot fired of the game. An 18. What's your armor class, Veritas? When 18 hits you?
18 does hit.
Ooh. Alright, and I believe it's a D8 on these. If I remember correctly, all longbows are D8s. Yep. Alright, so it's a D8 +2. Alright, first shot of the game. Now, Yuki, you do see where that shot comes from, the general vicinity of that one. 9 points. Because you do see Veritas get plunked, so when it is your turn, you will have somebody to zero in on. Because being an archer, you get the range and the bearing, and know where they're going to be. Just knowing about bows, you know where they are. All right.
So that I don't have to physically get closer?
No. Same with Shadow Moon. Shadow, you can see where that arrow came out. Anybody that's used to using any type of range weapons like bows can almost calculate back, so you won't get a penalty firing into that area. And you're pretty sure of where it came from.
Where did it come from?
Well, from what you saw, it came from up in this area. You're going to be going at an even angle because you're up.
Mr. Maury,
Yes, honey.
are you eating?
Yes, half of them are gone.
You better be.
I love that. You better be eating. We're taking care of me.
Aren't the trees right here blocking my view, though?
Let's see. You've got... Yeah, you would have... The trees themselves would offer you a -4 if you wanted to shoot through them.
I'll hold.
Okay. All right.
You're damn right I'm going to make sure you eat.
Alrighty then. The she has spoken. The she misses. Alright. So you just go hold position, Shadow? Or there's something else you could try. Depending if you want to try it.
Well, I kind of don't want to give up my position in case someone tries to attack the wagon. I'm in perfect position to
Understood.
attack the wagon also.
Understood. Alright. So nothing else this round, unless you have any other actions you want to do.
No, that's it.
Alright.
I'll roll for perception behind the wagon, though.
Doesn't hurt. So you can get an idea. Yep. So what you do, you know what you do. It's like the archers of old. You cock it up into the air. And that's the other thing you can do, T, is you can cock them up into the air. And those didn't. So the perception didn't go. And the dagger, I don't know if you're doing something with the dagger or if that was accidental.
That was accidental.
Okay. So, Silver, your turn. you can see this guy here. You can see this guy here. But everyone else is pretty high up for you to see. You do see movement here, which is not very clear movement. Some form is moving. Because again, this is all low-lying area in here. Even these trees. So you do see them through the trees. The trees aren't very thick. I mean, they're a big solid trunk, but you can still see the movement. Yeah, you can. On that one, he is in definite range and you can fire at. All right. And you hit soundly. As they're running, you do 10 and thock him really good. In fact, he seems to just turn with the blow. You hit him in the shoulder. So he turns with the blow. It's on his weapon arm, wherever he's carrying. Maybe a sword. Good solid shot. All right. Anything else you got to do, or just forego any movement right now? Or are you going to cast it? Well, let's see. You couldn't cast because that would be on the attack portion of the round. All right, holding position. All right, so Nikademus, from his position, he is going to let loose. But what is he going to let loose today? All right, Nico. All right. All right, Nikademus here. Spells. No, he's low on the deal. Let's see, what is the visual on that one? It is 60 feet away. Can he do 60 feet, or does he have to move up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's going to have to move up. So his dog goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To where it comes into range of being seen. And then he does his deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what it does, it puts a cube around this guy. Really? You're not going to draw it the right way. Alright, I'll just freehand it. So basically it does this. And you see a bunch of daggers appear. He's using his Cloud of Daggers spell. Got the Cloud of Daggers. Let's see. Cast 1, 2. Does a massive amount of 7 more points of damage to the one that you hit, Silver. And those daggers are just stabbing at the guy. So, not a good place for him to be. All right, Yuki. It is your turn, Yukiha.
Okay.
Now you can easily see where the, like I said, the shot came out of. The area was right up here. You'd have to do basically an arched back like they do, and you just let them fly in the air at the right arc and come right down. No, because if you do that kind of an arc, you're not shooting it in a straight line. You are basically doing like the archers used to do back in the day when they would fire up in the air and it would come down in a trajectory.
Nice.
So you'll take your movement part of your turn to calculate that trajectory, turn your bow up, and away you go.
Okay, I with the way
Perfect. Oh man, do you have any rerolls?
I believe I have some from
Burn a reroll. Because you don't want to roll on the critical table. Or the fumble table.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice, Marcelo.
It's like you saw two things happening. Number one, it was like you missing, and then all of a sudden, another shift in reality, and you shoot it just perfectly.
Awesome.
Do your damage.
I will roll damage.
All right. That's why rerolls are so amazing. 11, nice. Nice. A solid hit. You don't get to see it necessarily, but that form moved. Meaning you probably connected at some point. Now, up close, that figure has a nice arrow sticking out its chest through its lung out the other side. But you don't get to necessarily see the visual. It's just what happened in reality. So nicely done. All right. Balam again sitting out, just kind of guarding and keeping an eye on things. So that takes us to Lyric. Lyric is going to go on a double move. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. So that puts her up there with you, Willow. And she's smiling with glee, as you can tell, as she's riding forward at a nice gallop.
Awesome. Has she seen ahead or?
That's a good
do I wanna see?
question. Yeah, you could point so that way she can see what you see and kind of target in. So, let's see. Let's do her perception. It's not the greatest in the world, but hey. Nope, she's kind of got an idea of the direction, but she still hasn't made out exactly where everybody is yet. She sees movement, but nothing to really zero in and target on yet.
Okie doke. But Freya foresees it.
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully this hit is just having me giggle.
So it is your turn, yours and Bim's turn.
Okie doke. Well, Tim's gonna start heading back to me, or does he want to stay with Tom? I said he could stay if he wanted to.
Bims will curl around Silver's shoulders.
Okay, that's good.
And he'll whisper, Mistress said I can stay. She did.
It might be for the best if he's wearing a cowl.
Yeah.
So.
That way he doesn't make as much noise and become a target.
Yeah.
A pincushion target.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, that would be bad.
Nope, you don't get to meet her yet.
Aw. Bims is happy. Bims is just kind of watching his head's darting to look. And it's like right near the side of your face that you can see it. Just a little red and purple form. It's mostly purple, but a little bit of reddish tint in there.
Okay.
All right.
So, from here, do I need another stealth?
Yeah, because you're kind of close up. So if you want to, and again, you're galloping on a horse. It's going to be at a, well, nicely done. Even so, they're not focused at you. They seem more focused at Veritas and Nikademus, where the spell went off. So you have not caught their attention yet. They're looking diagonal across.
So, these two directly in front.
Mm-hmm.
Were they the ones that had bows?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right, okay.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Also, I think I'm in the summer season, is that right?
It's fall. It's right around almost what would be October in our time.
No, I mean Willow's season. She's summer.
Yes, you are hardcore summer in this moment.
Oh, I was, but she's really great.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. Yeah.
Your golden orangey color. which blends in with the Halloween colors pretty well.
120 feet.
Oh, you'll easily. What kind of
Yeah,
radius?
is that within range?
Yeah, what kind of radius? Let's see. Let's go here. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, you're right up here. Sorry.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 120 is right in here between these two.
Nice.
What kind of diameter is it?
It's a creature or an object, though. I'm gonna.
Yeah, a creature is an object technically, depending on if it works on animate or inanimate. That's the biggest thing you got to look at.
I think so. This is the best part about being a druid that has the summer season, because it means I'm able to cast fireball.
So right about here comes the firebolt, and I'll put the little X where it goes off, right in about there. Yeah, that little shape area. So right in here. So you get to pick one creature depending. The one behind the box is probably the hardest. The 16 will hit definitely the one that you fired at here.
Yeah, I think I'll go the guy next to.
Yeah, like right here. This one it hits. All right, do your damage.
It has begun. If they're gonna stop firing, I'm gonna stop firing back.
Don't blame you. An 8. Ooh, so you hit that one, and that one's kind of running around going, ah, fire, fire. Not happy. Doesn't drop the bow, but the bow's in the air and the arrow's out of the hand running around. They're on fire. Definitely.
Cool. Just as long as he's not going to start shooting fiery arrows back at me.
Not right yet. I mean, it's like fire bad. So think about the Frankenstein from Transylvania. Fire bad, type of thing. That's what they're doing, because they are literally on fire.
Nice.
You feeling chilly? I can help you with that.
That's our go-to, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fire and ice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one is female, as you can see, moving, and has much heavier armor. Has chainmail. She looks
I believe
weathered.
I have the higher ground, I believe.
Oh, you do.
Harder for them,
You
harder
do.
for them to shoot back.
Right here is higher ground, so the only way they can do it is kind of like Yuki did, and if they're good at that. Because, again, not every archer is an archer, if you know what I'm saying. They're just a person with a bow. Yuki has that hunting background and the archery and other things, so that's why Yuki is so good. They're so good at picking people out and hitting them that style. Plus how they were taught. I mean, the Japanese shoot the bow way different than we do.
Yeah.
Way different. And have greater accuracy in many cases. So.
Alright. What about
All right. So then it goes to Veritas. So the leader move, and then it's your turn, Veritas, and then they get to go. One gets to go before Freya does. And that's the ones without the bows.
Okay.
You can definitely see movement in front of you. I mean, you saw the one move here, and you saw these two move over to there. You could see them moving down the hill, the slope. Not a huge inclined slope. The incline's much larger here than over here. Let's see, Freya. Yodi. Female. Yeah, female and chain. Yeah. You need to have a personal discussion. Yeah, depends on what your discussion's going to be about today. Keisha has different forms of discussion depending on the given day and situation. Not that we haven't gamed a lot together. Oh yeah. You're now bearing down on them. You can see the dead bodies. The dead bodies, you can smell the decay of the horses and the bodies. These have been here 2 or 3 days. Easy.
Do I see anything else that we've missed so far? Further down road?
Let's see. From there where you would see on your vantage point, you could see up here on the hill. And you could see over here a little bit. No. Though you do see what looks to be, in your mind, some sort of a tent there.
Okay.
And up here. You can't quite spot this one yet.
Okay.
But most likely this is a temporary camp that was built here.
Okay.
All right. So what you going to do? You rode up.
Oh, I did double move.
Okay. All right. So then the ones that get to move here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then they're going to do one more because they're going to do a double move. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, back there. So they're moving into position there. This one's going to run up on Nikademus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he'll get a swing at Nikademus. This one's coming over to you. 1, 2, 3. Has to hop that, so it'll stop there 4. Because there's like, not a barricade, but kind of like some wood piled there. Like fallen trees or trees that were felled. Maybe another way to stop a caravan. 6. Alright, so that's their moves. So the one gets his shot at Nikademus. See if we can hit him. 20 plus, I believe on that one, they only have a plus 3, I believe. Is it 3? Yeah, plus 3. Alright. And an 8 will not hit Nikademus and the puppy dog. The puppy dog looks like it's ready to pounce. And that's the injured guy, too. Let's see, let's move that along with him so we know it's the injured guy. Oh, gosh, he moved out of the field of daggers. I'm sorry. He gets attacked again. Gee. Let's see what this says on this bad boy. Because I believe, even when they're leaving it, they get attacked on that spell. Double check. Filling the air, a creature, when it enters the spell area, or starts its turn there, when you cast the spell, yeah, it gets to do it for up a minute. So moving out of that area, it gets it again. Unfortunately, to its stupidity. Or his stupidity. And he takes another 10 points, so he does not make it to Nikademus and does not get to swing on Nikademus. He instead dies back here, where the daggers are. Poor thing. Trying to escape doesn't always work when you're cordoned in by daggers. Alright, and he can keep it up for up to a minute, so yeah. That's an area that'll be an avoidance area for everybody else. Okay, Freya, your turn. Oh yeah, they got the point. In more ways than one. It's like ginsued flesh flying everywhere.
Can you just draw a little mark where it's cast?
Yeah, it's right here in this area.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah. In fact, I could put a dead body there if you want, if that'll help.
No, it's fine. Being blind, I didn't see it behind the profile picture.
That's okay. It happens. Let's see, dead.
Just scroll down.
Yeah, dead body. Here we go. That's a perfect one. He's a mess laying right there. So we have another dead body. This will be great. You guys leave a lot of dead bodies this week. Well, hi, Freya. It's your turn. Okay, far speed. Now, note you in this, and I will say this to everybody. As a reminder, because your horse is moving and you're spurring it on, you still get an action at the end of that horse's move, whether it's an attack or otherwise. I didn't know if anybody remembered that. But that's, yeah. Just because you're hanging on for dear life doesn't mean you can't act in some way while riding. Now, you have to have like a handle animal to fire a bow from there. But if you want to dismount acrobatically or, you know, whatever you want to do, that's fine. Or rear the horse back and have it kick instead of doing a double move, or, you know, those are all actions that fall into that. Or if you're casting a spell, if you don't have a little component you have to have, you can do your gestures and you're speaking while you're riding. So keep that in mind. So you can do your double move and still attack. You just don't get your move segment. The horse's movement counts as your movement, trying to control. So, yeah, an Icy Magic Missile? Yeah, Icy Magic Missile should reach quite well. Which one do you want to hit with the Icy Magic Missile from hell? The one that's on fire? That's doing fire bad? Double move on a horse is 120, so 12 squares. As long as you're not going up an incline, a sharp incline. If you go up a sharp incline, then it's half of that. Uh-oh, Janet Marie's in trouble. Munchkin in trouble. So go ahead and do your 12 from where you are right here. All right. How far can you do Magic Missile? I believe it can go quite far, can it not? Let me see. As I look, just to double check. I believe it can go quite far. 120. So that's basically 12 squares. You can go 12 squares. So you have to see where 12 squares is from you. You may not be there yet. But you could do some other type of spell on yourself. So if you want to do mage armor, or if you want to do some other type of protection spell, you can do that. Okay, so you already have mage armor cast. Are there any other or defensive spells that you want to invoke? I'm trying to think, does D&D have True Strike? I think it does. Just like Pathfinder does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So, if you had the True Strike, you could give that to Yuki as you're passing by on the horse. slap them on the shoulder and just say, "Hi, True Strike," on your next round. That way it make just a little. Nothing wrong with doing those kind of things at all. Those are all good at the end of the day. Bummer. That would have been good. By the way, I don't have full access to your character sheet. You should. Let me go back. Hang on here. Let's see. Let me go in here. Ta-da. Okay. Yep, you're right. You do not. So let's go here. And I will add you. Well... why is it not letting you control it? It should. Why does it not have you on there? There it is. Okay. Okay, now you do. There you go. Now you have full control. Alright, so then the archers get to go on their turn. Let's see. This one's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it's going to try, let's see, 1, 2, 3. All right. All right, so Silver, that one's going to take a shot at you. Well, that didn't go well. That's a natural 1. Let's see what they did to themselves, because unlike all of you, they don't get rerolls. And that's an 11. Gut check. Damage to ally. Incapacitated for 1 round. Oh, nice, nice, nice. So let me do this then. That didn't go well for them. That was a horrible thing. Alright, so this isn't dead. This just means they're incapacitated for a round. And they're going to shoot and do damage to themselves. Because it says to themselves. So basically, in trying to shoot, something went wrong and they shot themselves. Bummer. Right? Don't you hate it when an archer shoots themselves? 5 points. So that archer is not amused right now. And incapacitated. Probably because the way that it went down, the archer tried to fire, it went down, shot themselves in the foot, and it went into the ground. So now they're trying to remove their foot from being pinned in the ground with the arrow. Quite painful. Yeah. So their sole attention is, oh God, I shot myself in the foot. And there's blood going everywhere. Not a pretty sight. Okay, so the second archer is going to fire down at you, Veritas. Let's hope he gets a 1 too, right? Wouldn't that just be an epic night to see 2 of them get 1s in a row? No, a 14. Does a 14 hit you? I don't think it does it?
14 does not hit me.
Oh, so you wield the horse just to the side as the arrow flies behind your head and into the ground. Epic. They cannot hit the monk, no matter how hard they try. All right.
Keisha, I would like to be that cool, but more likely I'm going to scan on my horse. And I probably fell off the horse, the arrow's more over the top of my head.
That's probably more the case. But it still looked freaking cool.
Cool, yeah.
It made you look like you really knew it was coming, where accidentally, and you won't tell anyone otherwise, will you?
I meant to do that.
That's right, exactly. I knew it was coming. All right, so Willow, there's going to be 2 coming your direction and 1 going.
Sure.
Veritas is looking over the crate, but they're from shelter, so it's not an easy shot for them to do. So it'll be at a disadvantage. I like that. We'll do a disadvantage. So 2 rolls. 1, 2. Take the worst of the roll. Oh, that's beautiful. Was that a 1? Yeah, that's disadvantage.
Wow.
Dogs, it sucks to be them, doesn't it?
I'm just really pleased I haven't tried that.
And a 50 this time. Let's see what happens on the chart of death. Open wide. Provoke an attack of opportunity from the closest melee opponent, if possible. All right. So, Mike, because they did such a boneheaded maneuver, you actually would get to... I'll say not a melee. Do you have a non-melee weapon readied?
I do not have a ready range weapon.
Damn. All right. So in this case, they next round, whoever gets up to this one here will have an AO. So I'll just put a little dot down there. Because there's
AO.
Attack of opportunity. I'm sorry, I abbreviated
okay.
it.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Sorry, I'm being a bad DM.
Oh no, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, AO, attack of opportunity. I'm sorry, I'll quit using acronyms. I'm bad that way.
No, it's fine. Now I know it. I know it.
It's my ex-military contractor background. It does that to me. All right, so an attack of opportunity. Darn, yeah, again, wouldn't it have been nice to have the horse kick him in the head? And they're out of here. All right, so then this one that's on fire, not loving life, will attack at disadvantage because they are on fire. And yeah, it's just the way it is. And Willow, that would have been a 21, but because it's at disadvantage, it's a 13. Yeah. Does a 13 hit you?
It does not, because I have dark skin cat.
So you basically, it goes ricocheting off your skin as you dust yourself off, thinking, yeah, right. That was nice of you, but you don't hit. And then finally, the last one is going to fire at Lyric coming in, which will alert Lyric to the presence. Let's see if it hits. If she hits Lyric. Ooh, a 20. She does hit Lyric, which will irritate Lyric to no end. All right. So then we get a d8 plus 2. All right. Yikes. Lyric takes a massive 9 points of damage from that shot. No. Yeah, Lyric is not happy. You see the kitty, the sweet kitty, get a shot right in her side, and she just kind of, I mean, literally, she does hiss in anger. You get the feeling that Lyric will ride the enemy into the dust at some point.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
All right, so we are through their turn and back to Shadow. Shadow, you've seen this little exchange. By now, you've got positions on a lot of people. You absolutely can see this one from the distance, this one from the distance. You saw a shot fired out of this area, which not easy shot. And then you didn't see this over here, necessarily, these ones. So, what do you want to do, Shadow? This one is definitely within your sight range for you to unload.
And there's still nothing behind it.
No, you don't see yourself, though you do see, as you're looking around, there are clouds moving in from the south. And the sun now disappears from sight. It's kind of eerie. I always love Akisha's look. I can imagine seeing it in real life with one of these what kind of looks. Yeah, they look. You didn't see them as pronounced the other day, which kind of makes you wonder a little bit. You do know that the Mirror of Dead Men is just south of where you are. Not that far at all. Maybe 200-300 feet over the rise to the south.
So those that are still at the wagon, I tell them there's approachment coming from the south a little ways off.
So Balam's like, what? What approachment? And he looks at, oh, that's not good. That's a storm. Not one to get caught in that. Yeah. So the healthy dose of ruh-roh. That close to... Yeah, you guys are that close to the north part of the mirror. It is literally, this road runs not far off of it. One never knows what you might find in the mirror. Or if these guys are from the mirror. Because the bandits do lie in the mirror. You do know that. There are a lot of bandit groups down there that hide in the mirror. All right, Shadow. Did you do your shot? Or are you going to? It's up to you. It would give away your position, but you're far enough distance. The two that are out there, these two are not. This one here and this one here carry no ranged weapons of any sort.
Okay. I'm still waiting for them to draw in. They still don't know our numbers yet.
Nope. They have no clue.
Still gonna hold.
All right. Silver, it is your turn. All right. So you can ride. Now, do you have, let me see. I believe it's animal. Is it animal handling on here? What would it be? Yes, animal handling. Do me a favor, roll animal handling or a dex save, just to make sure while you're riding that you place your crossbow right. It's easier to do with a crossbow than it is with a longbow if you're not used to it on that, Yumi. All right, perfect. 13 is perfect. You steady it on the neck of the horse enough that it will not cause you any negatives to fire. You find a good position. And a 21. You thock. Which one are you going after? This one here, I take it? In the front. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Yeah, that is painful. You hit him right in the chest. He goes, oh! As he's running towards Veritas. And Veritas, you see that. You can just hear the whistle coming and just a thock as it hits the meaty part of his chest. Not good for him. All right. That takes us to Nikademus. Nikademus still riding his dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he, I believe, can you move? That's a good question on that one. Let's see. On the dagger deal. I wonder if it can be moved. I think it can be. Let's see. Let me look him up real quick. Nikademus. Let's look at that. You fill the air centering. A creature takes centering the point you choose or over that minute. All right. So what he does meanly is just moves it right to here. And the cube moves over. I mean, literally, the cube moves over and surrounds that guy. I, again, don't see anything saying you can't. And it's up for a minute. So, and it is a dagger cloud. So, 12 more points. That one drops in his path. Again, nowhere does it say you cannot do that. So if you can keep up a spell for up to a minute, I will say in most cases you can, to a certain extent, move things. Especially things like that with daggers or surrounding kind of weapons in the air. Like a spiritual weapon, as if you moved a spiritual weapon. Alright, so another dead body. And that takes us to Yukiha. What are they going to do?
Okay, so what can I see? Like any live enemies that I can possibly aim at?
You do see one over here. It's way in the distance, but again, you can judge your arc. And then there looks to be maybe one up here.
Okay, so then I'm going to aim at the one that is further away, which I think was this one.
This one right here.
That one.
Yep.
Okay, I will do that then.
All right. All right, perfect. Again, you arch, do the style, the Japanese style of the arch and the way they fire, and away it goes. It's a beautiful thing to behold, anybody that's around Yuki, to see that happen. It's so different than you see here on this side of the continent. And it's very accurate.
Okay, is that going to be a miss?
Yeah, no, that hits. A 16 is a solid. It goes up and hits right on the top of the shoulder, on the left shoulder.
Nice.
And goes right in as you hear him just cry out. Or actually, it's a her in this case. As you hear her cry out. And 10 points. Nice, solid shot. All right. Definitely injured. A lot of blood in the area. Because you hit a nice... You didn't necessarily hit a main artery, but you hit something, and there's a lot of blood. All right. That takes us to Balam, which will go past him. And Lyric now. Lyric is madder than a hornet. You can just see the snarl on her face as she takes off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So she ends up there, and she just unleashes her witch bolt of energy. Snarling, "Die, creature, die." Not happy. And she solidly hits with the witch bolt. Doing? She does a total of 22. Yeah, 22 points. It just lances out and hits the one that was burning, and it just that the archer dances like a puppet and drops into a smoldering heap. Pretty dead. Good job. Normally she doesn't cast that powerful that you remember. She must have upped it and took a slot maybe, but you think that she just not a happy camper at this point. There we go. Another dead body. All right, group. It goes to Willow. Your buddy Lyric is just mad. You've never seen her like this. She's been playful, but never just raging mad.
I think it's fair enough.
Well, yeah, she got shot pretty good with a bow. She's not happy. Yeah, like even Freya's kind of like, ooh, maybe not. Oh, and that's the child running. That is not something coming.
Move up a bit.
All right, and you are in range. Yeah, I'm saying you're laying low. You may just want to. You just may want to run up at this, or ride up at this point, Shadow, and just start fighting and shooting everything in sight.
It was gonna happen, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's funny because the ones.
For so long.
Okay, so if you look at it, Lyric, spellcaster. Willow, spellcaster. Nikademus, spellcaster. The only fighting person up there is Veritas. Hand to hand.
Yeah.
And even Silver, spellcaster. Yes, Bims is on your shoulder. Bims is definitely riding, having fun. You can just see almost his tongue's hanging out in the wind. He's enjoying this ride so much.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, he's just a happy camper.
So from here, I can pretty much see all the enemies.
Oh, yeah, you can see every position, including this one, that this round will be not incapacitated anymore.
Okay. Then, what might be good,
Even though they're trying to pull their foot out of the ground.
we just check the range here. 120 feet.
Mm-hmm.
5 foot radius. 40 foot high.
Well, you can see up this. I mean, there's a little bit of height here. It's about 20 feet in the air. But you can see this position pretty good. You can still see the person back there at the angle and trajectory. Because you're up high, too. You can see them easy. Or most of them, in fact.
Okay. I think we're going to go for a moonbeam.
Alright.
Now, where to place it?
That is a question.
Well, I believe I can move it around, so let's start with, on this guy. Hiding behind the box.
Alright,
You
so
think your box is gonna save you?
2d10. Gotta do a con save. Oh, nice. All right, so let's see what her con save is going to be. That could be interesting. All right, so that's number 1. Yay, okay, so this could be interesting. $14. Do they make it?
Let's see. What is my spell? My... I've forgotten how to work this out actually. Spell save DC is 15.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Missed. So 2d10 damage on a failed save. So won't take that. Let's see. Cast that spell. Higher levels. Yep, you add more. So you increase by a d10 if you move it to a second level slot. So you can take one of your second level slots and move your first level. That's kind of at least the way I understand spells for the most part. You can always move them up to a higher slot as more of an empowered spell.
Yes.
You just burn a slot.
However, because of my level, I don't have level 3 spells yet.
Ah, bummer.
Yet.
Bummer.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
But never mind. We'll keep that in mind for another time. Oh my gosh, that's awful.
Wow. All right, so she took some damage, but she shook it off. Definitely.
That is so terrible.
Just shake it off. All right. You can move it around. I love it. 40-foot, 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder.
Yeah, so if anyone enters that space, they have to make a con save as well.
Nice. So basically, let's do this then. Can we do that? We'll do a freehand cone shape from you. So your cone shape went out like this. And it goes to this shape here. And then boom. So you hit the cone in that area, right? Because it's, or is it just a, so basically anything in that area.
Cylinder. So yeah.
Ah, okay. So it's
a 40-foot high cylinder from that house.
oh,
Yeah, it
okay.
goes
So
upwards, yeah.
so let me then go back here. Hang on
More
here.
like a, so it would be a
Yeah.
5-foot radius. So yeah, it's on one square.
All right, so let's do this. So basically it goes through here and then looks like this, and it's a lot more like this. It's like that. Sorry I covered you up a little bit on that, but that'd be more like
it's
what
fine.
it is. All right, Pillar of Moonlight. Boom.
I
Oh, no, okay,
No.
so, no, I'm dead wrong on all that.
Yeah, I think it's on the square and it goes
So-
up 40 foot.
I'm going to clear these for a minute. All right, even though then I can redraw this one. Hang on here. This one is around here where he did his little deal. I love when I can do the box like that. All right,
Okay.
then,
So it's a box around that enemy.
and that there. There.
Yeah.
That's better.
I mean,
Now it'd be a little smaller,
because
but yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
because
still.
it's on them. That means that on their next turn they have to con save.
Again,
away.
I love that. It's going to be a sucky moment in time for them.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't get them this time, but maybe next time.
So what is she going to do? Now, does the moonbeam stay with, or can she move out of that area?
I think she can move out of it, but it says when a creature enters the spell's area for the first time,
It gets
starts
hit
their
again.
turn here. So I think they would get hit
All right.
moving out, but
So let's do an int save to see if she can figure that out. Nope. She does not figure that out. So you get to hit her for more damage as she goes 1, 2, 3 up to Veritas. But she's going to have to make her con save again. Because, unfortunately, she didn't get it. And she rolled a 20. So she gets half damage. She gets half damage from what I understand. She just doesn't take full. So you get to roll it and then she takes half.
alright.
So,
A tiny
whoops.
bit.
Alright, so 2 still. I mean, hey, every little bit counts.
Yeah.
Alright, so she's going to
I mean,
attack.
she was smart enough to move.
Well, yeah, but again, she doesn't know much about spells. She's more of a martial type of creature. So, how well she knows spells depends if she's got a spellcaster around her who uses them. And Veritas, a 21 to hit you.
That is.
All right, let's see. She does 1d6. She's got a scimitar, so a d6 plus 3. Not a lot of damage. Ah, poor Kim. She's going to be so happy when all this is over. All right, 4 points. Rolled horrible. Did a whole point of actual weapon damage plus 3 for her strength. So
Why is there so many ones tonight? There's got to be at least 6 ones. Now.
It's the Halloween effect. It's what happens when you enter this cycle of the moon. It's just not a good thing, right? But yeah, a good place for natural 1. I mean, it could have been 9 points of damage to Veritas. It does 4.
True. No, I'm not complaining, but that was a good one.
Yep. All right, so that takes us now to Veritas. You get to return the blow. Now, do you want to make an attack with the horse and then attack? You can do that. Yes, honey.
Is it Friday yet?
No, it's not Friday yet. We got 5 more days.
Oh.
She's been telling me she's been slowly losing her mind.
Slowly? Slowly? Oh, no. I sleep with a 9-year-old.
She does. She sleeps in bed with a 9-year-old getting kicked every night.
Is this because of the
Yeah.
isolation thing?
I have to take the master. Poor me, I have to take the master bedroom and the best bed in the house.
Best
Oh, wow.
bedroom, best bed, best own bathroom.
Yep, my own. I do have some pluses in this, but I'm still climbing the walls. I don't care what you say. I'm still climbing the walls.
I'll switch you any
Yes.
day.
Number 2 on Halloween night. Yes. All right. So it is now Veritas. You can rear the horse back and attack. Now, if you don't have a control animal, you just need to do a dex save to control it to do that, so you don't fall off.
Nope, I just jump off.
All right. Okay.
I'm not gonna play with them.
So that's your move, jumping off. So do what you're going to do from there. Where your attack?
Attacker.
You want javelins as well.
Them with my sword.
And I can hear massive damage. All right, a 12 does not hit, but if you got a reroll,
Nope, I do not.
bummer. All right, so that does not. All right, that takes us to the ones before Freya, which are these guys. This one's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. So right to there. This one's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So won't get to attack you, but is right up there near the horse. Oh, no, yeah. Stops there. Does not go into the cloud of daggers. Looks at that cloud and says, no, I don't think so. It's Ginsu, 2 of my people. Not that dumb of a creature. Alright, so then there's this. So this one. Dang it. Give me the person, not the whole. Oh well, I'm just going to leave him put, because at this point, if I move him, I have to move the wagon. Yeah. Alright. So that takes us to Freya. It is your turn, Freya. Clouds are still rolling in. For those of you back out of the attack, like Freya and Yukiha and Shadow Moon, and for even Silver, make a knowledge nature if you have it.
Okay.
Some isn't right, but you can't put your finger on the storm coming in. Oh, yeah, natural 20. Yuki is used to these things. This is not naturally how a storm forms out of nothing, even over there. And the same with Freya. Nice naturals. Add a reroll to each of you, because you got nat 20s. And you both know this is conjured. This is not normal. Shadow 16, you do the same. It's a conjured event. Only Silver's kind of like, huh, not natural, but I don't know what it is. The other three of you is like, ooh, no, this was conjured. This came out of nowhere. You're guessing somewhere in the swamp itself. Maybe a source back there conjured this. It looks really volatile, like the storms that drop heavy rains and lightning type of storms. So, you know something is not right about it. It looks like a heavy rain, maybe even hail type of storm coming because the clouds have a sickly green color to them. It's definitely a southern storm versus a northern cold storm, which has the more gray clouds. The dark clouds or the green clouds tell you this is not going to be good. It's a conjured thing. You figure you guys have got a few rounds before it comes upon all of you.
Wait, so who would conjure something like this, though?
With your 26 knowledge nature, I will give you, the ones that have the natural 20, I will give that tidbit to. Most likely either a spellcaster of a druidic sort or a witch of some sort could bring such storms. Clerics could, but they're usually not going to unless they're just a vile god of some sort. This tells you it's most likely either a witch or a witch-like creature or a druidic creature of some sort. Or fae, maybe, even. Which, Freya, to you, tings from what you got into a private message from me. The voice was very familiar. Very familiar. So, yeah, maybe get to under the wagon or trees or into the wagon. That's probably going to be your best bet as this rolls over. Now, the poor horses, you would have to try to find them a place to shelter under a tree or something to where you could tie them up and they won't run. You, now, Destu, you see the same thing, and it worries you. You see a storm forming, and you hear chuckles from your captors. Well, they're mad tonight, says one of the goblins. And that's all they say, as there's lots of chuckling, as they go into the tents and leave you outside. Nice creatures they are.
Nice little guy.
Oh, for the moment, yes. Yes. You are not loving this situation at all. This one goes in here. This one goes in here. And these guys go in here to the front of that thing. He goes in here. This one goes over here inside and inside. So they all moved inside, leaving you out there. The two at the fronts of the tent are keeping an eye on you, because they're not just going to leave you all by your lonesome, but they're not staying out in the storm either. Alrighty. That voice, yes, that voice. So Freya, it's your turn, knowing the voice and seeing all that's going on. Now, you do know you probably have 6 rounds before there will be violent storming. Maybe longer, but that's your guesstimation at least. But it is your turn, Freya. The rest of the crowd doesn't seem to be looking up the bandits. They don't. They're more intent on you than what's going on in nature.
Read
Alright, keep going forward, full speed. Hopefully cast the spell. Yeah, let's see, where are you at? You are at almost... Yep. So you go... It's about here, maybe? Yeah. Is that right? 10. Nope, right about here. So you would be here if you're riding forward at full speed. So you can move up to there if you want. So you're just behind Bims and Silver. Bim's head swings around and goes, "Oh, Silver, Silver, Freya come, Freya come." As you can hear the galloping of the horse behind you. Bims is kind of bobbing up and down with his head in a happy, excited state. And then we go to Shadow. Your turn, T. Well, yeah, you're still a little bit, yeah, just outside of the range on the one guy. Just outside of the range. Next round, you could take a regular move and hit him, the one that's coming down the road. You see him, Shadow, the one that's moving down the road towards Silver and Freya. He's moving quickly with his sword.
Where is he?
He is right here. So easily within your range. You could easily let loose in that range. Hang on here, let me open this up a little bit because this is blacked out. That wouldn't be blacked out anymore. So, you can see him right over here.
Okay.
Storm clouds. All we need is some eerie music and it'd all be set. Oh, nice shot. Yeah, you thocked him, but good. Right in the side. You took aim and just whoop, and it hit him right in the gut. And if you click on the short bow name, it'll do your damage for you. Or it says short bow +3. Click on it and it'll do its damage. Yeah, why didn't it do it? It should have. Hang on here. Right here should have. No, it says 0 piercing. Alright, just go ahead and roll it. For some reason I don't have that. Because I manually entered it. Let me go back here and see if I can get that to do that. I can get that to where it'll do it for you.
It's a D6, right?
Yeah, it's D6. Well, is it long or short bow?
Short.
Short D6, yeah. That's why it says 0. Why does it say 0? It's not 0. It's a D6 damage. Yeah, oh, that's why. Because it doesn't... I gotta type in the D6 plus your strength, which is 0. Piercing. Yep. Alright. Now it should roll that. Now it can. And I'll do that with a hand crossbow 2, which is a... There we go. Now your short sword, I'll do that, because these are all like...
Yeah, all mine are D6.
Yep. And then your dagger's a D4. I can make this happen so quick. Oh, come on. Spell correct. There we go. And D4. Plus that. Alright. So we'll go into here. It's also slashing. Don't mind me as I do this and get all this corrected so you got even your critical stuff set up. And then there, and then that's a D6 there on that. Alright, you should be set now. That should have everything set for you. Alright, so you did A massive 3 points of damage. That's all right. That's damage. So he hasn't been hit. So he will take that. Good. All right. Perfect. You going to do anything else outside of that?
Actually, I'm gonna get back in the wagon so we can just, walk out of here.
So you're riding back towards the wagon. Do your 6 move back towards the wagon then. Is actually you were firing. You can do a double because the horse is not doing anything other than riding, so you can do double.
Oh, I'm walking.
Oh, okay, you're walking, so just do your normal walk speed then. Or, all right. So Silver, it is your turn. Why is a dog next to you? I don't know. Why is a dog next to you? Did somebody... Oh, that's because that isn't a person. That's Nikademus's dog. Well, that wasn't a person coming at you. Now, this one is now out of their incapacitated, even though they move at a lesser speed, being the fact they shot themselves in the foot. Oops. Yeah, this would be the one that would have moved, but he already moved before. So, okay. All right, you gonna hit that one? Do your damage. Good. So you don't have something next to you. That's always good. 11. The 11 will not hit the one. Boom. You've been hitting good too. That one missed. Actually hit the dust near him. Probably because you were controlling the horse, even though it's standing still and trying to shoot. Are you going to move at all, Silver, or just stay where you are? Okay. All right. Nikademus moves the cloud again. He's having fun. It's got a minute, so it's basically 10 rounds. So, yeah.
That's what's going to happen with the Moonbeam Marathon.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. You got to love that, though. I mean, it's the way it should be. Just keep moving it around until it's done its time. All right, so let's see. Nikademus. So I click on that again. And let's see. Yep. All right. So that guy takes 15 points of damage. Yikes. You just hear screams from that guy as he's trying to fight off the daggers as they're just dicing through him. It literally, yeah, not pretty. Not pretty. All right, Yuki. It is their turn.
So then, could I possibly move to see this castle who is creating storm?
You can try to, if you think they're in the vicinity. The storm started a ways off. You're thinking somewhere maybe southeast of here. It started as a couple clouds.
I will move 8 squares.
Okay.
And so we'll stay up.
Okay.
And then, what can I see from here?
You see clearly this guy right here, and you can see this one like a swarm of daggers, so you know that most likely somebody's in there because you've seen Nikademus do his little trick with the daggers before. And then you see this person in front of Veritas, and she looks really tough. Tough.
Okay. Could I take an aim at her then?
Yes, again, you'd be doing an up shot to not try to hit Veritas. You're doing it high. And because of your training, you can do that. It's just an up and go. It's a samurai style of shooting.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I take into account.
Cool.
Yeah. The samurai archers were pretty frigging accurate with their shots. Oh, yeah, as you've just shown. That's not, maybe not a natural, but you hit her, definitely. You bypassed her armor and hit her in the shoulder, just like you did the last one. Doing the damage. I love it. And an 8 solid points. You are just, I tell you what, they are having one of the best days Yuki is right now. So, do you prefer Yuki more or Yukiha? Or either one?
Both are fine. Yuki
So, for sake of brevity, I'll do Yuki then when I mentioned them. So Yuki's about ready to do a happy dance. I'm betting, just because it's like pow hit, pow hit, pow hit. You made an impression pretty much on the whole party of how accurate you are with your shots. So yeah, exactly, a sniper from afar, but very accurate. I like the ospum. Have to give you a hard time, Akisha. Ospum. It's a happy moment. Yeah, I know. Stick your tongue out at me. Okay, so we are to Balam. Balam is like waving at people to come back. Even he is trying to get the horses and trying to figure out a way to try to secure them to not have issues, moving them around this way and securing them to the sides of the wagon. I mean, they're going to get hurt a little bit, but there's nothing he can do. They're trying to get him over here is, well, I guess he could. Actually, he will. He'll try to take the two up front. It'll take him this round to move him to about here. To get him over to there, to put him under these trees over here. Alrighty. Lyric. Lyric the Wild Woman. She is taking a shot at this one with another witch bolt. Just not happy at the world. She's hissing and growling like a cornered cat would be. Almost. And a 17 solidly hits. On this one, she just does 9 on that archer. Which that archer has been not hit. So, it's that. Alright, so now all of the bad guys pretty much look wounded except for one. It's the one that's behind the wagon. Is the only one that has not been hit. Every other one's been hit by something. Alright, Willow, your turn.
Alright.
And by the way, this is round 3, I believe, overall of combat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it is a action to move my beam.
Okay.
So, I would like to move it. If I move it like this spot here,
oh yeah,
between these two, will it hit both of them?
This one's dead, so this one you could hit.
Dead.
You could hit the one behind the crate, no problem.
Yeah, let's go there.
Yikes! All right, so I don't think their constitution is as good. I do believe, but we'll see. And here it is that, and there. Yeah, they're worse than the leader is, so they only get a +1 to their roll. So unless I happen to roll epic. No, it's a D6. That'd be nice, wouldn't it have been? Sorry, that one won't stand. But a 13 isn't much better.
No, well, it's okay, but it's still a hit.
Yes, so you do full damage to that one, and that one got hit by, of course, Lyric.
Come on, rolls. Do me good. Have a 20, please.
All right, that's a 9. That'll work. Still painful enough. I mean, between the moonbeam and the electricity, that guy is just screaming in pain.
Don't mess with the magic users.
Yes. You got a witch and a druid, and they aren't happy. That's all I'm going to say. All right.
And also, I just want to draw my shield out in front of me.
Okay.
For extra protection in case any arrows start flying my way.
I like it. Perfect. And you do. So, here we go. This one is an attack on Veritas, and that was horrific. The leader couldn't hit to save her life. So, Veritas, it's your turn to strike back. This time you get your full amount of things or whatever you're going to do. So you can do a flurry of blows or a... Oh yeah, your poise is on tonight. You just look like a dancer doing the sword hits. If you can imagine from the movies how swift a monk can be with a sword, it's just pretty. It's pretty sword work.
7 points of damage.
Oh yeah, yeah. You hit her for 7. She is not happy. She's like, "Argh! You foul idiots! This should have been an easy take."
Then I'm going to use my martial skill and follow up with a punch.
Oh yeah. So a nice sword and then kawak. And no, you just actually no, you hit. You hit with a 15. You connect.
5 points from
Nice. You just basically bloodied her mouth. She was cursing at you and you just hit her hard and there's blood going over her teeth as you smacked her pretty good. Yep. Exactly. All right. So then we go down to the ones that are charging. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on. The problem is I got Destu over that. There we go. So Destu, you can see that they're watching, but there's almost a giggle to them as if they know who is doing this. A gleeful little giggle on that.
I can't do much. I'm tied up in the dark, so.
Yep. Let's see, where's the rest of the ones that are coming? This one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one's going up to you, Willow, and is going to try to hit you.
Good luck now.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna be not easy to hit. Oh wow! Could we have just one more 1 from the GM tonight? This is epic. This is almost 4 of those that I've rolled tonight. It can't go any better. It's literally, if you've ever watched Benny Hill, this is a Benny Hill moment.
Yeah.
I mean, you can hear
like it hits the side of the cliff, and then a boulder falls down onto the.
Oh yeah, it's full on. If you can play the Benny Hill music, it is going full throttle because it's just funny. Astute counter. As an immediate action attack, the same opponent with advantage attacks and does double. Well, no, I'm sorry, it's critical. Sorry, that would have been obvious. Tough recovery.
That sounds really good.
Tough recovery. Go to the last person in the round. So he goes from that one to, let's see, he is number, he goes on, I think it is, I don't know, maybe 1. We'll just put it on a 1. He goes on a roll of 1 initiative. Yeah, he done messed up pretty bad.
Having a bad day at work.
Oh, it's real bad. It is real bad. Now the archers Freya gets to go for the archers. So that's it for them. I don't think there's any more that I see. Nope. All right. Go ahead, Freya. It is your turn as you're watching this comedy of people trying to attack your group and just epically failing. What goes from an advantage ambush goes to a just comedy movie. Oh, he is a little bit. He's taken some, not as much. Yuki hit him pretty good, but still probably more than half of the hit points there. It's just sadly funny.
You don't laugh, you'll cry.
Yeah, pretty much. Ooh, boom! The ice bolts hit, and he just cries out as he gets hit by them, and literally hands flailing. Looks like ice hitting him, and he just full stop of what he was trying to do. Nicely done. All right, so now this bow person, feeling disgusted at themselves, not doing well because their roll gets no pluses to it, is going to shoot over at Freya. No, yeah, that's literally, yeah, that was a 3. So, wait a minute. Did it do it? It looked like it rolled. Why did it not show it rolling? Oh, an 18. I'm sorry. So 18, Freya. Does an 18 hit you? They're angry at themselves right now. But this one here does an 18 to hit you. Does an 18 hit? And has some disadvantages on the lovely damage roll. It just does. No, it's only 5 points. Don't get the strength in there because their shot was a shot, but they're in such pain from where they shot their foot that they can't put the full force behind the shot. They hit you, but it was, you could tell it was a half-hearted shot. So Rick, add 3 to that damage roll of Freya's spell. Okay, all right. So 3 more. All right. So that puts them well. They look shook up. The one you hit, not looking very good at all. They've been beat up pretty good. All right. So the next one is going to fire here at Nikademus and try to hit him. And let's see if they can roll another one, because the way we're going tonight, why not? 15. Does that hit Nikademus? I'll have to see. All right. Let's see. Nikademus is a... Core. Yep, hits him. All right, well, Nikademus is a spellcaster of sorts, so that kind of going to happen. And this is a +2 to this roll. So it does... Oh, wow, a solid 10 points to Nikademus. That was painful. That definitely hit him with a resounding thock. Let's see, how many of these guys are left? There's this one and the slicing daggers, which... is going to attack, but it is a disadvantage of epic proportions. So it's going to try to fire over at Lyric, but at a disadvantage. So first roll, second roll. Wow, glad it was disadvantage. Holy crap. That was a natural 20, but because it was disadvantage, it's only a 19. So it does hit her, but not near as bad as it could have. And that would have really made her mad. And this is +2, so she takes 5 points. So Lyric gets hit, but not as horribly as she could have been hit. So
Kitty's not doing so good tonight.
yeah, Kitty's mad. Kitty's about ready to go into a fury of flying bolts.
Should hope so.
This one's going to fire at you, Miss Evie.
Okie doke.
And
Bring it.
that's an 18. There's an 18
Right.
hit.
Just misses because I'm
Oh,
on shield.
wow! So it zings off your shield, and you basically, I could see you sticking your tongue out at him, playfully, like, you couldn't hit
Oh,
me.
you were so close, you were one off.
All right, so Shadow, we are to the top of the order. The one that goes next turn on a 1, so it's like, yeah. So they redeemed themselves a little bit, but this is not as bad of an ambush as it could have been.
Yeah, even Bims.
Yeah, even Bims. Yeah, Bims kind of gives them a, you can't hit the mistress kind of little dance on Silver's shoulder. That's awesome. All right, Shadow, what you doing? You still heading back towards the wagon?
Yes.
Gonna help put the horses under with what's going on with Balam, trying to get them under the cover and tie them up.
Yes.
That way they don't bolt and run. The ones you guys are riding, you guys will have to get them back there. So, all right, go ahead and move up, and then your action will be unhitching the two in the back, basically, if you can move up there. Silver. You're going to hit him upside the head. That one's at point blank, but you are up on the horse, so you really, literally could shoot the one in front of you at a point blank range. Which, because you're up high and on a horse and mounted, I will give you an advantage to hit. So roll twice and take the better roll. Oh my gosh, you got to be kidding. 2 natural ones? Please tell me you have a reroll. Yes, please tell me. Please.
There are so many ones.
God, it was 6 ones so far. Wow. All right, go ahead. There you go. That's better. God.
Oh
Double ones. Nice hit on him. He has been hit, so he is really looking bad. You thocked him right in the chest with that shot. So, I know, right?
Insane.
That shows the randomness of dice rollers when you can roll that many ones. It's like the 20s. So, all right. Are you going to do anything else? You could rear the horse. Yeah, exactly. You could rear the horse and stamp him in the face. You do have animal handling. You get a 13 or better, you can have that horse rear up and smack him, and you'll just be sitting on there pretty like doesn't even bother you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 22. You make it look so friggin' easy, Yumi. I mean, you're just like, whatever, smack. Go ahead and roll the hit. Oh, God. Oh, this is going to be a bloody mess. And they get a +3 to the roll. The animal does. Rick, I need the one horse move to my position. Okay. Let me see. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Okay. So, there. Whoops. Come on. Move. Sorry, Freya. I gotta move you over. There we go. Alright. There you are.
It won't let me type.
Won't let you click on the 20. Just click on the 20 and it should draw up a thing. If not, I'll do it. And that's fine.
Okay.
Oh, a 9. So a 9 doesn't hit him, but it scares the living daylights out of him, and he's going to be at a disadvantage next round. Just because.
I can't type comments anymore.
It might be this causing fun. Well, they got... You know what they have going on tonight? They have Roll20 Con going on.
Oh, man.
So guess what's being used tonight? The servers.
I'd say mine went a bit funny a few times. I've had to reload because my sheet would show and stuff.
Well, that's like I watched... Last night I watched Beetle and Grimm's and B. David and Holly... What's her name? She's a famous actress that plays D&D. She was funny as heck. You have to go in my comments, but they were just greatness. She was doing a witch, and he was doing... Or no, she was doing... a fighter that was the postal delivery service for the Sword Coast. It was hilarious. They took out the White Dragon. I was shocked. And I've asked them, they're going to try to make, I guess, the one guy at Beetle, Linus, is going to try to make a fallen red dragon laying on Beetle and Grimm. Beetle is a dwarf and then Grimm's a human. So it's going to be epically hilarious if they get it done. It'll be up on the Beetle Grimm site.
Do they usually do a Roll20 Con like in person, but they can't this year?
No, I love Beetle and Grimm. Those guys are hilarious. John, who runs the game, I think it's Cicilione, he's hilarious as a DM. Epic stuff.
So obviously for RollCon, they're uploading all the ones to our server.
Yes, we're getting the ones. We'll have to tell them tonight. Thank you, Roll20Con. You gave us all the ones.
They got all the 20s.
I know, right? There were so many natural 20s last night. They rolled in that game 14 natural 20s. It was unbelievable. I've never
That's
seen anything
unreal.
like it. Yeah, it was hilarity.
And I start thinking it's rigged.
I kind of wonder, but you know what? It's random, so yeah. All right, Nikademus again using the dicing machine to dice the guy up. Well, because why not? Let's just keep dicing these poor guys into pieces. All right, spells, Cloud of Daggers, and here we go. He takes 9 and drops deader than a doornail. Another diced baddie. Alright, let's move another dead body out there. Let's just copy and paste. Copy. Paste. There we go. So, all these in this area over here, all because of the Cloud of Daggers. Gotta love it. And he is going to move over to where Veritas is with his puppy dog. That's the next place the Cloud of Daggers is going. By the way, Veritas is on her. All right, Yuki.
Okay.
They are the archers of the night. Archer, marksman, sniper. They are everything and more. Yeah.
And I do want to fire at that tough looking lady near Veritas.
This one right here? Absolutely. You can do another up in the air and down.
Okay.
Even.
This one is probably going to be a miss, but I do have a reroll, so...
Hey, you'll roll a natural 20. The way we're going, I took all the ones I did in silver. Yumi did. Not bad. All right, so you can re-roll it. I mean, 11 won't hit. Come on.
Since that won't hit, so I will re-roll them.
Come on. You need that nat 20. 14.
It's not a fail.
It glanced off her armor, her chainmail. It did hit. It just slid off because it was one short. So you did hit. It just slightly back. So now you got the bearing of where she is and how to do it. So...
Can I take a move action?
Yes, absolutely you can. You can do a double move with the dog if you want. Because you're used to mounted.
Sweet.
Let's see.
So, Thea and I will get up to this point then.
Okay. Nikademus takes those over there and starts tying them up. All right. Awesome stuff. So now we're past Balam, we're to Lyric. Lyric is now just in a frenzy as she rides her horse literally at this one right here.
Charge!
Full speed and just rears it back to kick the living daylights out of the archer there. Alright, so let's see what she's got on that. She doesn't have an animal handling of sorts, so this is going to be just a dex roll. Let's see. Yeah, she doesn't rear it up. It rides up there, but that's okay. She just unleashes not a witch bolt this time, but her other type of bolts that she can use. And she just lets loose with an Eldritch Blast. With a natural 20. There's your natural 20 brigade. All right, and the thing will be 11 points of force damage into that one. Not pretty. Definitely not pretty, as she looks really, really, really bad after that bolt hit her. It was just dark, natural. Well, in her case, not dark. It just smells tremendously. Anyone in the area of summer smells, all kinds of summer smells.
Beautiful.
Yeah, she's just not happy.
I was like, you go, girl.
She's like, as she hisses at the one and smiles back at you. All right, your turn, Willow, as you see your friend just ripping them apart.
I'm gonna see if I get this.
Well, the good part is you can see now. Willow, or you and Lyric see the tents over there towards this direction. So the good thing is that the party, if one or two stay with the wagon, the rest of the party could come up here to the tents and put the horses under this tree. Because you guys have about 4 rounds to make that happen before the weather hits. And you can feel the winds have picked up. They're gusty now. So even for the archers, your pluses on the rolls go down by 2. Or actually, unless your class allows you archery skills, like you can pick an archer path to be an archer, you do not roll normal, you'd roll with disadvantage. So Yuki, if you have with your character, the samurai, the archer style, doesn't affect you at all. Affects only those who are just what I consider use a bow but are not natural archers by nature.
So here's a question.
Yes.
If I move my moonbeam,
Mm-hmm.
will it trigger a con save for the one it's currently on?
Yes, because it is still crossing over her area. So yes, it would. It would still hit her again, so she'll have to make that at a +1.
I'm going to move it over to this one that Lyric's fighting. But as I do that, it'll...
Oh yeah, so you do your damage, your regular damage. He misses his save badly. Nice. Well, that one drops dead on the spot because they had 12 and they're gone now. So yeah, that one's, well, actually it's the wrong one. Hang on, it's this one here. That was even worse. That one had 5, so now has 0. All right.
So, do you need me to roll again, or is that the same roll for both of them?
No, I'll have to roll again. Yeah, I'll have to roll again on that one. So
move it onto this guy.
Let me get the dead body there. I'll pull the dead body token here.
Dead body token is a nice touch.
It is, isn't it? Just lets you know where they all fell. And that way when you go back and loot them later, it lets you know where their bodies are. Alright, so go ahead and we'll move that one this way and hits that one, and now they have to make their save.
Again? If it, obviously,
And it's okay, because they rolled a 9 anyways, and how much did you do? That's plenty.
Put you back, Lyric.
Yeah, 13 more points. That one dies on the spot. It had 2. She had 2 hit points, so she is toasty toast. All right, let me move this off of here real quick. I'll just move the dead body on it.
That was a good round.
Good job, everybody, so far. So, the one that's on you, Veritas, she just screams out in rage and goes, "Not today. I am not dying at your hands today." Yeah, right.
We'll see.
And here comes the natural 1. Nope, 21. Does hit you. Most likely. She is just ugly, mad swinger of a scimitar. No, not like the scimitar does much. You take a whole massive 7 points of damage. So not necessarily great damage. All right, your turn. Now that she's mad. Going berserk. Not doing much, but doing what she can.
So my turn?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to strike again with my sword.
Okay. Oh yeah, you solidly, once again, it just looks, it almost looks like a Tai Chi move. The way you just deftly put the sword right between her chain links and hit her for 9 more. as she just screams in rage. It's like, ah!
Now I'm gonna punch her again.
And we need a nat 20. That would just be epic. Oh, 23! You solidly connect to the side of her jaw, shaking her. Yeah, 6 bludgeoning, beautiful. You literally just made her head tilt one way and come back up. And you just looked great doing it. This is not the Veritas I normally see. Way to go, Mike. This is like literally one of these fantasy, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I go to that one even though I know it doesn't necessarily do reality to Asian culture, but it's still just that kind of fluidity that it's almost like dancing. You're almost dancing your maneuvers in. So beautiful job. All right, so this one here is going to roll at disadvantage to try to hit silver. This will go epically bad. So here's roll 1. Here's roll 2. All right, so a 7 and a 13. Neither one would hit her anyways. He's afraid of the horse. He's trying to stab at you, but the horse scares everything out of him. That rearing up, no, not happening. All right, and then where's the other one? There's one other one around here somewhere, behind here. All right, I'm going to move him out of here and move this back. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, Willow, you got 2 on you that are going to try to hit you, but we will see.
All right.
The way I've been rolling tonight, that's a 17, which will miss you solidly. And then that other one's a 6. So, yeah, neither one can get through your shield in front of you.
I'm high up as well.
It's like... and they just...
I imagine I'm sat on the horse. I'm not even holding it. I just sort of like have it positioned in front of me. I'm peering over the top of it.
I could just see the childlike smile across your face of nah. You can't. And once again, Bim sticks out his tongue. Goes nah. He's doing the nah dance on the back of Silver's shoulders. He's loving what he's seeing. All right, so Freya, it's your turn. Acacia. Take some of that Mountain Dew. Take a sip of that Mountain Dew and roll like you've never rolled tonight to just wipe them out.
You got this.
She does. She's the light-spirited, but I will mess with you and knock you into next week caster. All right, there we go. I'm guessing you're hitting the same one that's out in front of Silver and you. Oh, 2 targets. I like it. Well, remember the one with Yuki is the mount. So don't hit Yuki's mount. Otherwise Yuki will go flying. That will not be good.
That would be awful.
And yet Yuki would still fire in the air and roll a natural 20, even after flying off the dock. Oh, that's all right. So hit the one. I love it. I had to give that one because that would have been funny had that happened. All right. We'll roll extra arrows damage afterwards. Perfect. Here we go. Freya wiping out. God, my poor ambush. It went from... I really thought it would give all of you a run for your money. It really didn't. It epically fell apart tonight. Though the clouds are coming in. I know, right? It could have been just really
You were rolling
cool.
like nat 20s instead. We'd be in trouble.
This has been my Benny Hill night. So, yeah. So, 14 points to the one in front. Yeah. He dies miserably. having 12 hit points. It just pow, 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 and then there's nothing as he just falls over with the ice fading from his body. And there's another one. Yeah, the leader is not. She is not happy at life. There are literally 3 of them left. Yeah, that's about it. Nope, 4, 5. There's 2 up at the hills. But, yeah. Those archers aren't doing too good. Alrighty, so we get to go to the archers. Let's see what they can do. Yeah, the one at disadvantage still, because being in pain. Alright. And that'd be an 8. So they fly, and the arrow falls right near you, Freya, but does not hit you at all. Not even close. The other is going at Nikademus, because, yeah, the guy doesn't like the daggers, and hits him. Poor Nikademus. Just not his night. And he takes 8 points of damage. Nikademus looks a little rough. But he's not pulling out. He's not getting out of the area or running for his life. Even though he's only got 17 hit points left. He's under half. Alright. And then the goon patrols. That one was the one that went on one that you killed. So they've already gone. That's it. It is now Shadow's turn. Shadow, are you moving the horses?
Yes.
Alright, put one there, and then you can move you over to them. You're doing good. You're moving them pretty good. You'll have them under cover, and you guys will at least be... You may not make it back to the wagon, but you could stay under the trees. It would possibly mess with you, but not for sure. Alright. So, let's go to Silver. Your turn. Weak sauce. Yeah, the arrows are not doing him much, other than hitting once in a while. You basically have line of sight on the one up here. You're going to be through trees, so it would be at a -2 silver. But you could still fire up there if you wanted to. It's well within your short range. Stormy weather for a storm. Yeah, rather thematic. It is very thematic. You definitely feel... You and Willow feel a sense of impending nastiness, as does Destu. Destu, where he's tied up, feels it as well. You just feel like this is not a good situation. Though you could technically pray to your god, Destu.
Can we sense the direction of this impending doom?
You think to the southeast is where this has come from the swamps.
Right, okay.
Definitely. You feel like this is a prelude to something worse. Let's see. And the last spell she cast, one of her side effects kicked in for a moment. You cast spell. The area around you glows dark and gloomy, storm-like. Poor situation, but you know, it's back there, and Silver's kind of used to you doing these things, so it doesn't bother Silver too much. Doombringer death hit. Go ahead, Silver. Your turn, Yumi. Oh, okay. Did it kick you out? Yeah, it did, didn't it? I don't see you. Oh. I'm sorry.
It's been a bit strange tonight.
Yeah, it's because of the Roll20 Con. It's a good program, but it's not meant for 500 games at once. Their servers are not ready for that. Yeah. Well, yeah, but
Come back to me, or you wanna wait?
I can wait. We can wait for a second. If you want, why don't we do this? Why don't we take a 5-minute bio break?
Okay.
Sure.
All right. All right. See everybody back in about 5 minutes.
Alright.
Not to cut anyone off, but I can't hear anything.
We all took a 5-minute break for Roll20.
Okay, mine just popped back on. I can hear you guys.
Cool.
All right. Ooh.
Rick, is
Yeah.
anything left to hit?
There are these two right here. 1, 2. They look like the guy that ran up on you. It's a guy and a woman. There's an archer here, up here. There's an archer here, up here, both injured. And then there is the commander right here. So it looks like 5 are left out of a 12 that you started with. Yeah, it was. they just have epically done horrible, which is good, right? You don't want the DM to roll good on those kind of things.
No, that's good.
Oh yeah, you got a clear shot on him, definitely,
No.
or her.
No. I got it.
Because remember, he's up on a
Oh,
horse.
you want to get it?
Yeah, check your fire. Shoot somebody else. This one's mine.
So, yeah, that's a clear line of shot for you.
That one's the closest.
Yep.
Or I could help her out. 'Cause there's nobody.
Yep.
Got 2.
Just a little bit of a rise there, but you can do the bow right. You can aim it up a little bit and so it comes down and hits the mark.
Okay.
And also with the number of ones being thrown, I don't want anybody shooting archery anywhere near me.
Yeah, in case it rolls a 1.
I think all of the bad archery rolls have been Rick's though. Like whenever
They have been.
fine.
Well,
Fine.
no, actually, Silver did have. I mean, Yumi had 2 bad ones, but she got them out of the way. And then Yuki also. They had one. They had a bad roll, but that's it. Other than that, everything's been epic. It's been epic hits.
I was going to say, Rick,
Yeah.
thing, in the name of realism, I know with D&D it's quite funny, but when somebody fumbles on an arrow, it doesn't really make sense for the arrow itself to go into their foot. 'Cause there's no-
Oh, yeah, this one up here, if you look where my little pointer is, shot herself in the foot, and her foot still has the arrow in it. It's stuck in the ground. It's stuck into a root in the ground.
It doesn't make sense for an arrow to do that if it just falls from the bow itself.
Yeah, but I do some I do less realism on that. I'll do the overtop.
I was just thinking it was probably more realistic and funnier if they ended up accidentally shooting one of their own folk by mistake.
Oh yeah, I mean literally, she has been at disadvantage the whole time because her foot. I mean, think about shooting yourself in a foot with the arrow or even any type of weapon. You're in a whole lot of pain. You can't stand in an archer stance and shoot. It just doesn't work. So she's always at disadvantage.
I'm just saying shooting yourself in the foot with a bow and arrow is not really particularly possible.
No, it's what would have been happened. What I would say is, think about if you stumbled over a root. If you stumbled over a root and your bow goes down and you had it in a full draw and you let loose, then you'd hit your foot. And that's kind of what she did. She was behind a tree.
What if you just dropped it out of the hold and just dropped it downwards? It could just go into the foot.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as dramatic. It'd just kind of stick in a little bit. This way, she just shot it through her foot. Literally.
So a falling arrow is not really going to pierce a boot.
No. Whereas if you have it in full draw back and then you go like this, it's not pretty. And that's what happened. I mean, she literally... It's almost like she was trying to gain a better footing to take the shot, and she stumbled and let loose on the way down because she was in full draw. And, yeah, it wasn't pretty. So, all right. Silver, go ahead. Yumi. And then if you want, do a percentile dice for me, Wolf, for Destu. If you want to try in your mind calling out to your goddess. Because that is possible she can hear. I do take that into account in any campaign that we roll with. Unless the gods just aren't prevalent. just roll a percentile roll. I'm going to do one over here, and if you succeed that percentile roll, or under that percentile roll that I rolled, then your goddess hears you. Yep.
Is that a flat T20?
It's a D100. Basically a D100.
Oh, 100.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the 21.
The real
No problem. If you got them, use them. That's perfect. You hit the one.
Give me a percent roll.
No, percentile. Look under the D20. Click over here on the D20. That's on the little toolbar. And you'll go down and you'll see a percent or a D100. Roll that. Ooh, yeah, that one kills that one dead. You have dropped her dead in her tracks.
So roll a D100.
Yes. Yep, and just I'll take a look at what the roll is and we'll be there.
5.
Oh yeah, beautiful. You feel a prickling feeling in your mind, and a voice whispers, "Yes, worshipper of mine, what can I do for you today?" And so you were saying under that, and you can go ahead, even though you're doing what would she hear in your mind, you saying?
All right. There's a great storm and people will be in danger. Will you please free me and lower the perception of my enemies so I can make my escape without harming them?
Well, she says, I think I can do one better. And then you feel yourself disappear from the area where they are, and you literally appear up here where the bandit camp is, beside one of the tents. And she goes, I hope that will help. I think there are some people there that will help you. Good journeys. And then you can just feel her slip out of your mind.
Nice. That's really nice.
That's why Akisha knows from the other campaign, right, Akisha? You call on gods and goddesses. Now, it doesn't mean that they won't, at some point, expect something in return. But for now...
Can you bring where I am again, please?
Oh, yeah, you're way over here now. You're in the combat situation. You can see a combat unfolding around you. You basically see what looked to be maybe bandits being just waylaid by the one that's closest to you. It looks like a white tabaxi, white with gray spots. And she just looks like hell on a horse. She is so angry, and she has an arrow sticking out of her side. You can see that these people have just taken on the wrong set of merchants because they're getting their heads handed to them. Now again, you not being a combative type, you may not approve of this necessarily, but you don't approve of bandits robbing somebody and leaving corpses either. So it's kind of that fine line of Occam's razor where yeah, you'd prefer them to try to take them prisoner, but you realize that most bandits won't be taken prisoner. So, yeah, exactly. Stabilized and then brought one or two people back to life where their goddesses or gods and came into involvement. So we've had some interesting things with gods and goddesses. I wouldn't suggest calling on them all the time, but sometimes, like in your situation with the storm rolling in, they hear. All right, that takes us to Nikademus. Nikademus just calmly moves the daggers over to, well, no, this one. Because he knows that you got this underhand, Veritas. So, on the one on Willow, just unleashes on that one. Let's see, Nikademus does spells, and it'll soon be going away here in another round or so. And kaboom. 14 points of damage on that one. That one has been... Yep. So that one had 11. That one is gone. So another dead body appears. And you can see that this going on from where you're at, Destu. You can see what looks to be a gnome on the back of a mastiff. Just move his hand and you can see this cloud of whirling daggers go around the guy, and he just didn't have a chance in the world against those. All right. Yeah, it's again, you hate to see death, but at the same time, you hate to see innocents harmed. So it's kind of the double edge of it. It's where you're able to justify combat, is when there is, in your mind, no other way of resolution. It's just sad that it couldn't have been resolved. All right, Yuki, it is their turn. Go, Yuki and Thea.
Okay, let's try again. I know I probably sound like I'm just spamming this tactic, but this is really the best that Yukiha can do. So, another shot of beauty, hopefully to connect on the caster one.
Okay, so this one right here? Yep. That's the leader. Definitely. Don't know if she's a caster, but she is definitely the most heavily armored of the bunch.
She's the only one left.
No, there isn't. There is the one here on you, Willow, and then there's one here. So if you want to help Willow, there's the one on Willow up here, and then there's the archer back here, and then the leader right here.
I assume 16 is a miss, but...
No, 16 is a solid fuck. As you hit her from the air, yes. That is a solid hit. Yeah, basically, Veritas, you see an arrow and you can hear it whistling overhead and it just thocks right into her shoulder as she screams out.
She must have a low AC then.
Usually bandits' ACs aren't that great, unless they're really like epic level ones.
Are these human?
Mostly. There are some half-elves among them.
Oh, okay.
Like, the ones that are the archers look to be half-elves. The others look to be human. She definitely looks human, the leader. 14 damage. Good grief. She screams and almost drops to a knee as you drive that arrow into her collarbone on the left-hand side.
Oh, that is not nice.
And she just, it didn't hit her lung, fortunately, but it stuck in pretty good. And she just, like you see kind of in those movie pictures where they go down when they get hit with an arrow shot and then raise themselves back up, she just doesn't look good. She's holding in, but you think Veritas hits her and it's over pretty much. It's...
So, one second, I'm going to use action surge.
Okay.
I have that as a class feat, and I want to attack again. I believe I can do that with action surge. I can
Sure.
only use it once for long rest, but I believe I can use it now.
Alrighty. So basically Balam helps you. But yeah, go ahead and use your action surge because that'll let you take another action. And that could be the ending.
The end.
The end, yes. Period. Ooh.
Oh my god!
It's okay. It went up. You did that extra adrenaline shot, and it just didn't hit as good. It hit the dead horse over here.
Oh.
It kind of went up. It was a little bit off because you're so pumped up about hitting one that it just didn't fly as good. Plus, there's wind in the area. I'm not going to say it affects you, but it does affect trajectories, and with your excitement and with the wind, it just took it a little off course. Slight amount. So, Balam helps Shadow with the horses, takes one of the horses and draws it back and basically hitches it up under the tree. So when his turn comes, all he has to do is put his and then they can run because it'll be 2 rounds till the storm. All right, Lyric. So now Destu, you can just see this is like a whirling dervish of nastiness. You're wondering if she's naturally like that, but she turns back and unleashes another witch bolt. Just a shot. And it's interesting smell for you because you're close enough that you can smell. It smells like a fresh summer day with no fires or anything around. It just smells like a grassy, natural area full of natural smells. And a little bit of orange, a hint of maybe orange in there. And she just, that bolt goes out Yeah, it's catnado time. She not happy camper. She just angry. It's not the soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur moment.
Not just now.
It's just an angry ball of fur. And this one, she hops up and takes her last slot up there and does 13, dropping the other one near you that had the... Well, no, actually, no. Still has a little bit left. But it basically lights him up to where, it halos him. And then you just feel like this... You definitely think of Summer Fae when you smell the smell of that hit.
I just love that smell.
It's not burnt flesh, that's for sure.
No.
Or toxic, infernal smell. This is just a nice smell. All right. Willow, it is your turn.
Okay. What I'm going to do is, before I'm going to had my staff drawn, I'm going to draw it, and I'm going to hop up over the top of my shield and go for a thwack.
Oh, your shillelagh hit.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can knock this bozo down.
Oh, nice hit, and you connect. Yes, you do. 14 is exactly what you need to do to connect. And that was a solid hit. Basically, you put a dent in his kind of skull cap that he's wearing to protect himself. And there's definitely blood trickling down the side of his face.
It's just the pop off over the shield and then I duck back down beneath it.
Nice. All right. So Veritas, she tries with all of her might to try to hit you, this enemy here. She raises her scimitar, but you can tell it's just laborsome to do so. She is so hurt right now. But she is bound and determined. Oh, no! Oh, my gosh! Yay. All right, well, that's not pretty.
Oh my gosh.
Finally, the DM...
Like she is pulling every little ounce of energy she can.
Yes, she is. And yeah, it is Figs right about now. Because she does some damage, and then this will be on top of it. Let me roll a percentile roll. So she does 9 points to you, Veritas. But she also gets the critical effect. So let's see what she does to you for critical effect. Oh, that is not pretty. I don't like 97. Demoralized. You are knocked prone and stunned for 2 rounds, and instead of 9, you take a total of 13 points of damage. Not devastating, but still, it was not a good moment. And you are off your horse. Basically, she hits you in such a way that you were unable to regain your balance, and you fall on your back, and it knocks the wind out of you.
I'm at 0.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, Veritas is down on the ground. Everybody sees this. He's laying here. The horse starts running this way. Because, again, weird situation. But it opens her up for... And there's one attack before we get to you, Freya. There's the one that's on Evie that's going to try. Alright. That was weird, because that's my first 20 of the night as a bad guy. Oh, 11, no. Thwacks into your shield. So, Veritas, you are bold, but sometimes in battle, as you're laying there in the haze going, okay, that could have gone so much better, because I had it in hand. And you're just laying there thinking that in that haze. All right, Freya. Poor Uber. Uber's taking off. All right, look at that. You're going to ride down on top of her. This is going to be that moment. Ride 'em. Go. And we're going to ice her. Yes, you will. You're in range. She's looking at you just over kind of the wounds that are bleeding down her like, oh no, not another one. And then you let loose. It's that look of she knows she's dead. But she's going to try anyways. Alright. This is happening. I cast my spell for a moment. Wow. Alright, so it feels like the storm has come in and then BAM! And that is just enough. She had 9 hit points. You literally, oh yeah, with a 12, you lift her off the ground and you slam her back into this horse, killing her. As your icy bolts melt away and she just lays there on the horse. And she is down. Now, the one bandit up there, this one's like, nope, nope, whole lot of nope, and running. Gone. That one's done. Wounded and going, oh no, nope, she's dead. See ya. Going back to the swamp. At a full run. Just takes off. That leaves the one that is kind of trapped up there by you. Shadow, you're going to take the last horse and hitch it up, and then you can start heading back, because you and Balam can head back to the wagon to get some safety. So you can move to the wagon if you want. Balam will be joining you. Alright, Silver. You see this transpire, and you love it all the more, because it's Freya. Yes, honey?
Night, hon.
Night. Love you. Get a good night's sleep if you can. Get a good night's sleep if you can.
That won't happen for another 5 days.
One can hope, right?
Unless that bed mysteriously becomes a pillow top, you're fine.
I can't do those things. I'm a DM, but I can't make that happen.
Well, come on, use your magic wand.
I'm sorry. I don't have that kind of connection. I wish.
Can I at least roll a perception check?
Yes, you can roll a perception check.
Oh, wait, I rolled a 1.
Oh, bless her.
Oh, I've got her down to where she goes, yep, that perception check failed. Where she they rolled a natural one. See, I've almost got her to play. Almost. It's a slow process. But she's getting there.
I've
Yeah.
still got one alive in front of me.
Need to move your horse. Yes, you do need to move your horse. Go ahead and move your horse up. So, let me see. Where's the horse? It is Stardust, right? All right, let's get this Stardust up there. There you go. Bim Silver, or where? Is there another one out there? Yumi, do you have another one? I don't see your horse for some reason. Why is your horse not there? Stardust, I think, is her horse. Stardust is her horse. So where is your horse at? I bet it's way back here, Keisha. Was it cinnamon or peppermint? Which one was yours, Freya? Cinnamon or peppermint? Okay, so we'll give you peppermint. I'll move peppermint up.
Great name.
Yes. She has peppermint. Ta-da! All right. So we go to... Go ahead.
Still one alive.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Run away.
Yeah, you just see the daggers move over one space, and he goes, ah! And then all of a sudden there's nothing. There's just...
Got him.
And then the daggers drop. The spell of daggers drops after that.
Rick, wasn't it my turn?
Was it your turn, I think?
Well, you had
Oh, yeah, it was. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, they didn't move then. But go ahead. Do your shot. That... If you take him, that's just as good. Because you got a shot. I mean, you're not going to hit Willow on the horse. Knife NATO. Yeah, if your shot doesn't kill him, believe me, Knife NATO will. Oh, yeah, 22. That is a solid thock. And, yeah, Knife NATO didn't need to get to him because he had 3 hit points. And that 8 just lifts him off of his feet and kills him deader than a doornail.
Done did it.
All right, so
Good job.
there are bodies everywhere.
This is really gross.
Oh yeah. There's just arrows
Who's
sticking
gonna clean
out.
this up?
So the storms are coming in. if the party wants to move up. We're out of initiative, so everybody can do their free moves to where they're going. Balam is going back into the thing with Shadow in the cart.
I'm gonna go and pass Veritas a health potion.
Now, Destu, you're not down yet. You're still tied up. It's just she moved you tied up. So you guys see up, which you're surprised you didn't see before, what looks like to be a humanoid turtle tied to a stake and has a gag in his mouth. You think it's a him, at least. You're not for sure, but it is a turtleoid, which you believe are tortles. You've heard of them. Now, Yuki, your family has talked about them because there's a lot of tortles that are down in Kartur area originally, and all through that area. So, yeah, Mike's at 0 hit point. Veritas is on the ground.
So I'll be pouring it into his mouth then.
Good. All right. So, do your roll for your healing potion. Rick, I'd like to take a moment, too, to pray. The healing potions, hang on here, I can tell you, I believe it's so many D6, and I just don't know off the top of my head. I should know that. Healing potion. Potion of healing, 2d4 plus 2.
Alrighty.
Not bad. It's a nice little heal.
Alright, yeah.
Especially when you're down to 0 hit points. Okay, so...
Oh my gosh, another one!
So Veritas, you can see Willow's smiling face pouring a potion into your mouth as you slowly come out of the haze of, God, that could have gone better, and all of a sudden you're back. Your body aches a little bit, but you're okay. You're just bruised. A little bit bruised. More your ego than anything else. Nothing that a few drinks from the flask wouldn't help.
After Willow, I think she just like wakes me up. I'm like, who, what, where, when, what happened? What? I look around and like, oh, I must have hit that person so hard I don't see her anymore. So yeah, I did the job. All right.
The winds are starting to whip up, and you can see over in this area, about where this tent is here, literally like a sheet of rain coming. It's coming slow, but it's a sheet of rain coming for sure. And the feeling behind it, it's warm air mixing with the cold that's already up here, so you think you might get a little bit of hail. You can see that Lyric has reared her horse up to this tree, ties it up, hops down, goes over, and uses her knife and gently cuts the bonds on you, Destu. And you can see her, you can hear the purring as she's just slowly doing that, and she goes, "Is that better for you?" as she frees you.
I think you will.
"You are welcome. Such manners are good," she says. "We might want to get out of the rain. My friends will be here soon," she says, purring. And you can just see she grabs the arrow inside her, closes her eyes for a second, and just slowly pulls it out with a small and drops it. She goes, "Always nasty things."
I'm gonna move down here and just waddle down
Okay.
to the dead bodies and start
Doing your...
placing them in respectful position, moving the arrows,
Sure.
arms over. Once I've done all that, I'll start doing a little prayer.
Okay. So the rest of the party, what are you doing? You can see up here there are the tents. You can see that Lyric reared her horse up this way, and then you can see coming down what looks to be a Tortle, and he is respectfully, even with the not so nice dead, giving them proper repose.
Wait, so I actually took like 5 minutes to meditate and focus, and now I'm heading up to these tents to kind of explore like what's in it, see if we can find any clues or anything like that.
Well, you feel like the wind whipping up And so you don't want to take too long just because you can feel the rain's coming across and it does not look like a natural occurring thing. It looks very violent almost coming in. Yeah. And you can take your Mastiff inside the tents. The Mastiffs can fit in the tents easily. The horses, anybody that's riding them in now, so Silver, you can either go back to the wagon or you can go up to the tents.
Could I give Lyric a heal potion?
Yeah, absolutely. Lyric goes, well, hello. You come to see me.
Yeah, I saw you take a hit there. You need to make sure you take care of yourself.
She goes, yes. Oh, thank you, she says, as she basically drinks it down. And you can go ahead and do the roll if you want on that for how many she gets back. Yeah, fair time. So Uber is over here, Mike, if you want to get Uber. All right, so 6 works. That's always a good thing. Every little bit counts. So that puts her up to 30 hit points out of 38. So she's not doing bad. She goes, thank you, my love. You are so good to me.
Was Nikademus hurt too?
Yeah, Nikademus is up in the tent. He's kind of sitting down gingerly inside the tent up here in this area. There's definitely room at this tree and this tree and this tree to put horses if you need. Destu, you want to finish what you're doing, but you feel like maybe it needs to wait till the storm passes of sorts. Yeah, it's up to you. I mean, you could take some damage out of being out here in the storm. It's not that you don't want to do what you want to do, but at the same time, you don't necessarily want to put yourself into too much of a situation where, you would maybe not be...
Is there enough shelter in the tent?
Yeah, Nikademus's thing has some room in here. This one is Yukiha up here. This is Nikademus here. Whichever directions either one wants to go. Yeah.
Could you move this body and this one onto a small pile?
Sure. Absolutely. We'll do this. And then if you want, this one can also be moved over. You'll have enough time to get those. The rest of them, not so much. But you're able to pull 3 up. And then Freya, wherever you want to go, you can easily make it up there if you do a full gallop before the storms hit, or you can stay out in the storm if it doesn't bother
Lyric, get in a tent.
you. Yeah, Lyric's going, yes. She goes into this tent with you. All right, so go ahead.
I was going to heal Nicodemus.
Oh, okay, that'll help. Nikademus appreciates it. He goes, thank you. He goes, I'd hoped to have a little less damage than I got, but it's just bandits. Oh, nice. That'll be good. That'll be really good for him. So you put him up to, let's see, let's go over here. Core. You got him to 27 out of 35. He's feeling much better. He goes, thank you, Silver. That was much better. And his wounds start to heal over where he had been hit. And just about as you finish that, you can feel the winds whipping. Now, Veritas, did you stay out in the nasties? Yes. And Freya, where are you going for the nastiness? Yep.
Veritas is staying out and doing some more.
Oh my gosh, so dramatic.
Yeah, I can hear the dramatic cause back
Oh
there.
my gosh. He's an old dog.
Just letting you know.
That was Veritas' form saying that's me screaming into the void.
Yeah, exactly. So the storms hit, and just you can feel the wind whipping at the tents. You can hear the patter of ice as it comes down. It's not golf ball size, it'd probably be pea sized. Veritas, if you're out there, you can feel the wind and just it whip at you. The actual cart that, or not the cart, but the wagon, Balam are shaking side to side, relaxing. You know, it's not like they're going to die back there, but you can just hear, and you can hear the whinnies of the horses as they can just feel it. And it's just the booms coming around, the crack boom, as the storm really picks up speed, and you can just feel the very nature of it. Just
Are the horses okay?
they're all right. I mean, they're a little bit. They get pelted a little bit, but not enough to hurt them. It just
Are
spooks
they
them.
distressed though?
Yeah, a little bit distressed. You can feel the feeling of distress in them.
Well, straight away then I would use my shield as like a cover and go out to them because I'm not going to leave them distressed. Like, I'll try and calm them and
Now, Freya,
make them feel okay.
you can feel it ping off your skin, but it doesn't bother you so much. The hail, the cold, it's just, to you, it's par for the course. You're used to the north. You're used to these type of events. And so long as it's not bigger hail, it doesn't bother you that much. In fact, it's invigorating. It almost electrifies the feelings that are running through you as a sorceress. The storm is just, but yet when you feel it, you can feel the wrongness of it. It was formed by something. And you do think, as you see the lightning flash, that you see a form or two up here. Now, the forms are not humanoid. They are low to the ground. Make a knowledge nature. And I'll put out the little things here.
You gotta reroll. Yeah.
Yep.
Much better.
All right. So when you see them, you seem to see legs, but more than one leg. 8 legs as they trundle along. They don't seem bothered by the storm, even though it does crash down around them and make them wetter. They don't seem as bothered. They trundle forward. Veritas, you can see them. If you make a perception check, you can try to identify what they are. They're moving forward this way. It almost looks like a small group. Wrong one. Let's see. There it is. Okay, let's do these. Another one there. It's trundling along. It's 4 of them. And then, yeah. This one looks a little bigger. That one looks like a form with a spider, but it has an upper body, and it's got long hair and dark skin. Even in this weird light of the storm, you can tell, because again, this is around 2 in the afternoon, so you can tell it is not natural looking at all. Veritas, you can see it. It looks like half spider and half shadow moon trundling along. Oh yeah, very Drider-like. Very Drider-like. But see, to do that, you need a different kind of knowledge to tell if it's Drider-like. On that one, you will need a knowledge history check. But it looks like 4 of them, they're green-colored forms coming down. Those look like almost like giant spiders of some sort. And then the Drider is following them. And it's just an eerie light as the lightning is flashing around. Now, none of it's really near, but yeah, history roll for you. It just makes your skin creep. Now, too bad Shadow doesn't get to see any of this, right, T? Damn. He could tell what these are easy. No, you just know that it's a humanoid and a spider slapped together.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it's almost like it's almost like a spider tar. It's the best way to put it. Yes, you go down, and they're making their way over. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Can Willow see them yet? By the horses.
Yeah, you see some movement over there. This one and this one trundle up the tree. This guy trundles this way. He has swords on his back that he draws.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's going to be initiative. Let's do this. All right, so what you got to do is click on your thing again. So click on your pieces and then do your initiative roll. So make sure you click on them. Let's see, Nikademus. Yeah.
Oh.
I'll move this out the way.
Usually
We know where it is, so that way I can move them out of the way. All right, so Nikademus is going to roll his. Yep. God, you gotta love Driders. Puts the creep factor into the night, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, thanks. Just before I go to bed, it's like nearly 2:30, and you're putting spiders in my head.
Yeah, you know, we just gotta add a little bit of ooey gooiness with the spiders.
Rick?
Yes.
How many Drider like creatures are there?
Just one that you see right now.
And the rest are spiders.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's...
Yeah. Shadow roll low. That ain't good. Alright, so let's see. We got Nikademus. Or no, not Nikademus. We got our boy down here. Balam. So Balam. Now Balam, and you haven't looked outside either, T. So you don't know if there's more there. It's always fun until it rains. Alright, so let's put up this. Alright, so far the turn order. Let's do ascending or descending. There we go. So far Shadow has got a 23. Or actually, no, yours is a 5.8, so I got to change that. Yeah, you got to make sure you click on your token. Otherwise, it won't register it in there. Let's see. Yep, you got that one, Mike. All right, so let's do descending order. All right, so now, yeah, let's see what's coming over here. Copy.
I think sorcerers can do that at any point, even like during combat.
Oh yeah.
It can just change their points around if they need.
They can. Certain ones can do that. Certain classes can. Alright, so there's these guys. And there's 3 of these guys. Alright, so as the storm whips around, what are you doing, Shadow? Are you looking out at all? Are you trying to keep a watch?
Yes, looking out, keeping a watch.
Alright, do a perception check to see if you notice, because the lightning flashes and you seem to see some very familiar forms coming down the hill. Very. Rick, do I have time to convert sorcery points into spell slot? Yes, you do. You have plenty of time while you're in this, at least. You did, going into the tent, that you could do that if you needed to. It's not a short rest, but it's close. I mean, It is a little respite in between you when you see them. Nice job. Yeah, these are driders. You have no doubt in your mind. These are driders, 2 of them coming down towards you, along with 3 giant spiders. You have seen these plenty of times. And the experiments to make them. You've gotten to see those processes, being that you grew up in the Underdark. Yeah, it doesn't give you a lot of hope. You're like, but what hits you is, why in the hell are they out here? That doesn't make any sense. None at all. Unless they serve somebody. Because you don't think there'd be that many drow out here. You just don't think so. It's way too open of an area. And not enough places to hide and not enough mountains. So it's wrong. There's a definite wrongness to all of it. But you definitely spot them. All right, so let me get their rolls for their things. Hang on here real quick. Got to parse out the 2 sections here.
I'll make sure to tell Balam what you're seeing.
Balam's like, what? Why are there these things out there? There should not be those things out there, should there? I do not think they're spent... No, I don't remember them being out in this area. Or even on the Sword Coast, for that matter. Well, maybe in the city. But not here. He's definitely not amused hearing there's driders. Alright, there we go. So I'll put a page in there, so I've got that. And they are, let's see. Okay. Alrighty. And then their initiative is what? There it is. Alright. The good thing you know, T, is they are very light sensitive. Oh, God. That was an epic fail of a roll for me. There's another one. So the Driders get to go on a massive 4. Yeah, they get to go on a 4. So they go on round 4. Yay. All right, let's see about the giant spiders. Oh, I think those are always towards the stuff here. Let's see. There it is. Okay, so they get a roll of 3 plus on there. And they roll a 1. Nice. All right. So that's just lovely, beautiful. And then they are what for hit points? All right, so they are a... Okay. All right.
Just one small thing.
Yep.
I can't see the turn order.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does it not come up for you? It should. I hope
It
so.
was there a minute ago. But
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll pull it up. There you go. Here's the turn order. Sorry. I just kind of getting some stuff there. All right. So that's what each of you see. Now, Willow, you get to go first.
how about that?
You have to roll click on the other side.
Oh, did she not?
Yeah.
So now it's just rain. It's not the sleet anymore. It's just simply rain coming down. All right, so Destu is at a 17. Good. So click on your token and then do your roll for initiative.
I think it has come up in the turn order.
Has it? It has you
Yeah,
at...
there it is.
Yeah, it has you at 22.18. So it's you and Veritas pretty much at the same time. I'll have either one of you guys go at the same time.
Well, Veritas is closer, so he can go.
Oh God, you haven't been healed, have you, Veritas?
A bit.
Ooh.
Came in from potion.
You...
I roll up on the driver and say, hey, how's it going? I'm here often?
The Drider turns towards you. It's eerie looking in this light. Well, you're one I looked for. One of them, at least. The mistress said we'd find you out here. Or should I say the mistresses said we'd find you out here. You can come with us willingly, or we can drag you back. It's up to you.
Ooh, I like it rough. Let's do it.
All right, you got the go ahead, so you can. It's your turn on him.
I'm done. I can't do anything.
Ah, okay. All right, let's see. On this guy, he's got this. All right, where's the other ones? What's their AC? Because I need to have that. If you're not do anything. All right, so it is your turn, Miss Evie.
Right, well, I'm gonna jump on Patch.
Okay.
Oh, but how close can I get if I just ride full out? Can I dash? You dash on a horse?
You can do a dash. Do you have left any of your inspiration?
Yeah, I have 2.
Okay. You can burn an inspiration and I'll give you a double move of, So you went up there and did your thing so you could go 12 squares easily.
All right.
That inspiration will take you and Patch down there to 12 squares down.
Which is roundabout. Yeah.
All right.
So, am I in range to speak to this thing now?
Oh, yeah. This is something like out of your nightmares. You don't mind
God.
spiders so much, but the fact that this is part elf and part spider just weirds you out. You've never seen these things. In fact, you've never even heard of them in the Fae. These things are out of nightmares.
Well, in that case, I'd probably be like, Veritas, what is going on here? What is that?
And you see 2 giant spiders before you about 30 feet away, and you can hear the clacks and the spinning sound of 2 others in the tree right here. Like they're spinning a place to put people. It looks over at you and says, well, you are unique. The mistresses will like you, especially. And you can see he has long silver hair and purple eyes. And in his teeth, when he speaks, you can see they're jagged, almost like what spiders would have, kind of a jaggedy style teeth. They're not straight, flat teeth like you see in normal elves. He's literally kind of a nightmare.
Hey, Ladybug. No, you're talking to me. Leave her alone. You're talking to me. Don't turn your back on me. It's the last thing you ever did. Come on, Ladybug, let's dance.
All right, you got initiative. You 2 are both there with it. You guys did your moves, so take it down to Yuki. Yuki, what are they do? What are you doing as a whole? You can see that the forms. Willow got on a horse and rode down towards where they're at. You do have your dog with you, so it's not sleeting. It's just raining now.
Okay, so Thea and I will move to this point, and then I should be in range of this thing.
Oh yeah, and you have heard of these up from where you're from because of all the mountains and the paths to the Underdark. You have heard these are creatures you don't want to run into. They are out of the underground dark elf cities, and they're usually foot soldiers for them. And you've heard rumors among your tribe. Because your tribe does go into caves. They do move around somewhat outside their village when necessary. And they have run into dark elves at some point. You just haven't yet. This is your first dance with one of these. But it is in range.
And I do have to keep my friend safe, so
All right. Take a shot. The winds aren't kicking up too much. It's just rain is all it is. The winds have blown through for the front. Oh, no, no, no. It happens. Do you have any rerolls or inspiration? All right. Good. Yeah. I love it. The first one, an 0-1 on here, seppuku. Knock prone, disarm 3 squares away, stun 2 rounds, and critical hit on self. I love that. Oh that's a 19 will hit on the dot. The Drider takes one right in the upper arm, and it rears back with its spidery legs as he grabs for his swords. And definitely draws them. And you do 7. Nice job. Yes, it is definitely not in a happy mood that you hit it. Good shot. You went from a 1 to a, yeah, let me just knock you over here kind of hit. That's okay. No, hey, cut me off. I don't get bothered by it. As a DM, I don't get bothered. So, all right, we go to Destu. What are you doing, Destu? You see some nasty things. Now, you can heal some people if you feel like they're going to need to. These creatures you definitely, you don't want to harm necessarily, but don't know any better and tend to go for food, especially spiders. So, yeah, you necessarily don't want to kill them, but you don't necessarily want to get into their grasps. Lyric could, the kitty cat, or you could go over. Go ahead. Oh, yes. So, Lyric is here, and then there's Nikademus here who looks like he's been wounded. So, Lyric's right in touch distance. You could literally put your front leg over and touch her and be right in touch distance. All right.
I think that possibly the worst the wounded person is the person taking the fight, right?
Yeah. Veritas. He's okay, but he's probably not in great shape right now. So go ahead and click on the. Okay, 7. That'll work. So 7 back to him will help a whole lot. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it does help her. She is now, let's see, Lyric. All right. So Lyric goes up to 37 out of 38. So that is a beautiful thing. She smiles and nods her head and says, "Thank you. Now I am much better."
I have 2 more, don't I?
Yeah, you do. So there's...
I'm going to move here in front of, I forget his name.
That's Nikademus, or Nico. All right. He nods in appreciation. Thank you. You are kind. And we go to Nikademus. So Nikademus, seeing this, is going to look into his spells and see what we can do. Is there anything with a range that can hit these things?
How many spells am I allowed at level 3?
Level 3. Hang on here. I can tell you. Give me a sec. Because you're a cleric. Other than your cleric spells, because you have domain ones that you get automatically. So just keep that in mind. Those are automatic each day. Cantrips are unlimited, so any cantrips you use, you can use 100 times over if you need to. You get 4 first level and 2 second level spells. So yeah, you can look in the players, whatever ones you want to have up. I just picked some for you, so you can go with different ones if you need. I try to pick more what I call defensive and pacifist type of spells, like you would have. He is going to do a cure wounds on himself as well. That way he can get up to where he needs to be. And let's see, that puts him up 4 more, which doesn't hurt. That gets him up to 31 out of 35. So that puts him into at least a decent condition. All right, so Balam's like, oh crap. So he peers out of the wagon, and let's see, does he have his crossbow? I believe he does. So let's look at Balam. Balam Mustafa. And Balam does have it. He has a hand crossbow. What is the range on those? Hand crossbow, I think 60 feet. If I don't miss my guess. Let's look. Hand crossbow. Alright. It is... hand crossbow is 30 feet, or 120. So he would take some negatives if he fired 10, or let's see, 12 squares away. But how many are they? It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He would be just in range of the spider. So he's going to take a shot at the spider, and I believe he's not going to get. So I'm going to take this down minus 4 increments. So let's see on a normal roll. No, he doesn't hit. You hear the twang, Shadow, and you can see he fired a bolt, but it landed somewhere over here. All right, we are to Freya. Freya, you see the thing of a nightmare. This is your nemesis. Normally, you're not bothered by Shadow because Shadow's kind of a cool drow. This just turns your stomach that this thing has been made. You've heard about them, but yeah, you never seen one.
Yeah, I can hear you guys. You don't think you talk bad about me.
Veritas. Mike. I love it. All right, so go ahead, Freya. It is your turn. She's going to convert things to try to keep everybody alive. Oh, sorry. Crack my neck. We'll get through this turn order, and then we'll call it a night and have to leave this off till next week. But hey, the party's together. You have Destu with you now. Oh yeah, calm emotions. That would be a good one. All right. Go ahead and let loose. I don't know if they've got anything special. Let's see. Really? They really consider him that? Alright, I guess so. In the deep, dark, cold, dark side of things. First thing I read, Fey ancestry on a Drider. I'm like, yeah. In what nightmare? Bam! You do, and there is no DR against it, I don't think. He does not have, unlike Pathfinder, these guys don't got SR. I like that. That means you hit them. You hit them good.
These creatures are Fae.
Yeah, that's what they call them. Fey ancestry. I went, really? How
so
far?
Would Willow know about it then? Willow know about
Yeah, you could. You could. You could make a roll on your knowledge history and add a +2 since you are a Fey outsider. That would give you an advantage to your roll. Or actually, no, roll with advantage. Not a +2. Let's give you an advantage roll. So, yeah, Freya hits it with ice, and it is just angry now. You could tell you have pissed off the spider. The other spiders are just chittering around without the slightest hesitation. All right, your history, yeah, these would be the things that the cold side or the dark side of the Fae would entreat with or use. Though you don't hear about them a lot. You do know they're vulnerable to sunlight, so if the sun were to crack through this cloudiness and rain, it would be at a real disadvantage fighting. Or if you just put it in a bright light,
Like moonlight. Like a moonbeam.
Yeah, like a moonbeam in its eyes. Exactly. Yes. Yes.
No?
I'm ready to do it again. I love her. Yukiha has that little piss me off type of thing. All right. So Thea gets to go, the puppy dog, if you want, or it'll just sit with you. Because Yuki goes differently. Actually, you could put Thea on yours. I'll put Thea on yours. Let's do Thea on yours. 18.18. I put the mounts usually at the same as your turn, just because it makes it easy. All right, what'd you say already? Bzzzt. Smart aleck. I always have to watch what she's typing because Yukiha will put some comment in there I'll miss if I'm not careful. All right, so lyric just goes 1, 2, 3, and then what's the distance to him? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 to that one, and then 17 to that one. So they got to be either 150 foot or that. What does lyric have up her sleeve? She's got to have something that can go the distance.
Kitties are really good at squashing spiders.
I like, yeah, we gotta squish the spider. Ooh, 120 feet. God, that would be great if she was just a little closer. She'd Eldritch Blast the living daylights out of it. All right.
She moved.
Yeah, she moved 3, and she could move up a little more, but that would take her out of her. A Hellish Rebuke. How far is a
Oh, that's a good one.
It's only 60 feet, and that would have been epic. All right, let's see. Shadow Blade goes. That's the one I saw the other night that does the psychic damage. God, that's a nasty little spell of epic proportion. The Witch Bolt goes how far? 30 feet. Of course it does. Alright, so she's going to have to move up a little bit more, so she will double move. That will put her into range of either one of them. Cancel that. Let's see, she has to go another 1, 2, 3. So that puts her at the top of the hill. Alright, Silver, your turn. These guys don't get to go until after Shadow. It's sad. They rolled epically sucky.
How far can I move before I can't cast?
You can move your normal move speed unless you have something else that boosts your speed. That's part of your skills, feats, other types of things. But yeah, you can move 3 squares basically.
Could grab a horse.
Yeah, you get over to a horse. Do your 2 actions to get the horse loose and get on it. That way then you move better.
Yeah, but I wanted to cast this time.
Alright, well then do your 3. Move 3 towards the horse over here. Sky, your horse, and then let loose. Depending on how far, that'll put you, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it puts you 140 feet from the spiders and 160 to the driders.
I don't see it.
Mm-hmm. Nice. 90? Yeah, but they're taking into account the squares are 5 foot.
Oh, okay.
Or the square 18 squares, yeah. That's because unfortunately it's seeing them as 5 foot squares where they're actually 10, and I can actually, let me go do that. I can make that easier. Let's go into here. There we go. Because I said they're 5 foot, they're 10. There we go. That'll make it easier. Now your things should read right. Now try it. Now it should say 180 over there. Yeah, see? Yep. I've now righted it. But you can't get the ones in the tree that are doing their thing. I can just see it now, bringing down epic level fire. Wow, 24 absolutely with a guiding bolt. Yeah, that's a hit. you hit the spider so hard it didn't even know what hit it. So do your damage. That spider is not happy right now. It's chittering away. That's number 4. Tree. Yeah. Wow! Alrighty. Is that 18 points she did?
Yeah.
Wow! Alright. The spider goes "Eee!" and falls out of the web down to the ground, upside down. Not dead, but is on the ground. So I'll put it over here. It is on the ground twitching. It's not happy. Not dead, but boy, it didn't help.
Wanted to get the big target.
Yeah, he still did. I mean, he's not looking happy up there being the drider. You're killing his little friends. So I don't think Umberly behind. No, you get the feeling maybe not in this case because of these type of creatures. But they did say mistresses, which you could do a investigation or an insight roll if you choose to try to figure out what would the mistresses be. So let's see. A particular earlier one. My entire respect, Umberly and her sisters, is the mention of the mistress, right? And then you go, I see, what do you mean about it being time? Any acknowledgments, Rick? This is where your insight, yeah. Okay, so your insight, well, you've heard of things called covens. So when they say sisters, it could be witches or hags, because hags.
Oh, it's the hag. It's the hag.
Mm-hmm. And a swamp, and the swamp to you screams, "Oh yeah, Freya, you."
You know what's interesting about that though? We knew about her, but how did they know about us? And they're gonna forget us.
That is a good question, isn't it? And Freya, you even pinpoint it further in your mind. You're going coven, hags, green hags, because green hags would be in the swamps. Either that or the anise type of hags could be out here. But it could be either one. It could be anise or it could be green. Either one's not a good thing.
Hag is never good, right?
Hag is never good. So, all right, Shadow Moon. It's your turn and then it's theirs. And we will see what happens. Happens to the hobbitsies. Let's see what T has up his sleeve. But yeah, you know, Shadow, that taking these guys on head to head, probably not a great prospect. Driders are tough. So they're trying to take you back somewhere. But you could try to scare them off, too.
I don't think we're that scary.
Yeah, not yet. Well, that little thing that Silver did kind of enlightened him a little bit. That was like,
True, that might help. That's definitely gonna help.
That definitely didn't make his confidence sit well. What you gonna do, T?
There are more of us than them. I suppose we could get them in numbers.
Yep. Now, the Driders aren't moving down the hill, just the one scout spider over near UT. Light him up with everything we have. Is T on?
Strategy.
I don't know if he's on. T.
No, maybe not.
T.
He's in Discord, but he's not in the 20.
I know you're
Yeah,
here,
it's been
T.
dropping in and out.
I know. That's the problem. It's...
There he is.
You're back. 2. What's Shadow gonna do?
Make the spell throw and
Yes.
But there's them out.
He's popping in and out of there. Well, we're almost wrap down time anyways, so. But this will get the fun started to continue into the week after Halloween, sadly. But, you know, hey, we can still have the Halloween madness.
You've still given me spider nightmares. You can have that one.
I know, I'm sorry. I had to pick something, and it's like, yeah, that works.
So that's a typically scary thing. I mean, you know, I'm scared of ones like the size of a penny. These are like giant ones. Ugh.
Kim always calls me to kill the spiders. Her worst nightmare would be a brown recluse. Which, you know, the brown recluse, if it bites you, it basically is necrotic. It eats your skin away. It's not fun.
Gosh.
Yeah, they're nasty, and there are some here up in Ohio, not many.
That's not a fantasy creature you're talking about.
No, real, and T has tons of them down where he is in Texas.
I'm lucky to live in the UK because, like,
I don't know.
They're not too dangerous here.
You don't hear as much. I mean, probably more widows. You'll hear more of widows. And widows make you sick.
Got, like a false... Actually, we've got a false widow here, and it can cause amputation if it's bad enough.
See, they gotta quit doing that. I mean, would you... So,
could you just not do that?
Would you believe that the daddy longlegs is the most deadly poison spider on the face of the earth? But it can't.
It's got no teeth.
Yeah, its teeth are brittle. They can't go through human skin.
That's insane.
I love that. I'm like, oh no! Don't get bit by something that poisonous. And it's funny because the tarantula is the least of the poisonous ones. It'll make you a little bit sick, but it's not going to kill you.
They're pretty intimidating looking though.
Oh, they jump. They got jets in them. They can jump up over your head. That's the scary part. Nobody. Yeah. My son, when he was 12, went out, took a shovel, and smashed one in the garage. I'm like, holy crap, no fear. So.
That's why I live in Michigan with, 32 below zero winters, but no crazy spiders.
Nope. Yeah, wolf spiders are fine. So I think we've lost T. I think we've lost T. T, can you hear me in Discord? Okay. So what do you want to do? I can run with you if you can't see it in the other. They're basically up on the ridge south of you. There's 2 driders. Actually, no, it'd be 1 drider. I put too many on there, so hang on. One more of these guys. There are there's 1 drider on your side, and there's 1 drider on the other side. There we go. They got 4 giant spiders with 1 and 4 with the other. But you can see he's standing up on the hill.
Are they coming towards us? Or?
The one giant spider is coming towards you. The other 4 are sitting up on the hill. The drider's kind of like watching to see what's in the wagon. He knew that they knew about the others up towards the camp. So you figure maybe there's an equal amount of nasties on that side of the woods. But yeah, these are not normal for this area at all.
I tell Balam. No.
Well, he says, I don't like the odds here. I don't think we mess with the drider. He goes, I don't know. No. He goes, I don't know what our odds are with that. The spiders, bleh, they're spiders. But the other, no.
Veritas yells, shoot your damn arrow!
You can hear just the wind. Shoot arrows! You think it's Veritas through the rain.
Tell Balam, I get a strange notion we should run.
He goes, I'm not disagreeing with you here. He goes, I don't want to play with the spider things. He goes, I shot and my bolt didn't even come close. So, no.
Okay, so I'll fire.
So, yeah, you can pull aside a little bit of what is the top, because it's cloth. It's just heavy burlap. You can pull aside and fire out of it. Here at the middle portion, right here. In this middle portion. There's like an area where you can, because it's extra long, but they divide it into 2 tarps. So you definitely have cover. That's the nice thing. At least until the spiders crawl in and say hi. Yes, you hit a spider. The one that's coming towards you. Do your damage. Yeah, I feel like 10 per damn spider proof. Yeah, it's not spider proof. Not when those fangs come through.
Oh, they get into everything.
Yep. And then
Even the
12.
giant one.
So the 12 won't hit. The 15 does. So you can do your deal. Bug spray
I
plus.
tried to click on it, and it didn't do the damage.
Oh, hang on here. Let's see if it does. There it is. You got to click on what says short bow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead and click on that. You click on the short bow thing, and then it'll roll it for you. I just did that to show you an example. Come on, roll that thing. Click on that short bow. Does it not do it? There you go. Nope. That's weird. All right,
Man.
so 4 points of damage.
Yeah, you click on the short bow in chat. It's not on your character sheet. It's in chat.
Yeah, it's in
Yeah.
chat. So where it says the 12 or the 15, go up to where the short bow is underneath it and click on that.
It's in bold.
Yeah.
Bold.
I wish I could ping it out here. I don't think I can. Nope, can't ping it out here.
No, it would be really useful, wouldn't it?
But yeah, it's right here under the shadow moon where it says 15. Then you go down under your range, right to the short bow, and click on it in the chat portion.
I just wondered, I didn't even know, is it like it highlights? And I was like,
There it is. See, 4. Nice job. You imitated my 4, so that works. So you hit it. All right. So now this little guy. What's his scurry speed?
Can you try again to get more points?
Yeah, I know, right? It's one of those things you wish he could sneak attack on him. Now, Balam went out and faced him. He could. Of course, the question is, does Balam want to play with the spider?
I don't think he does.
No. So it's going to do a double move towards you. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ends up there. And this guy goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this guy's similar, and then this guy's similar. But the Drider does not move.
Plus 4.
So this one goes 1, 2 towards you, Miss Evie, and it's going to take a bite at you. This
All
one
right,
goes
go
1,
ahead.
2, 3. There
My
you go.
AC isn't quite as good now because my shield.
So 6. Hang on here. And then there. And then the Drider's going to come see you, Veritas. All right, so
Yeah, you only asked for it.
so first thing, yeah. Let's hope your AC holds up, Miss Evie. You never
Yeah,
know.
it's not quite as good, but we'll see.
Yeah, you never know. God, I wish they did the bindings on these books better. My poor monster manual is going to come apart at the seams, and it's new.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's just some of the stuff they do a good print job, and then you can tell when they don't. All right, so that's +5. He gets a +5 to hit you. Let's hope for a 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
that's a
snap.
21. All right.
Even with my shield up, you would have got.
Yeah. All right. So
All right. What's the damage?
you must make a DC 11 con save, or you take poison damage. You take half, if otherwise. Oh, yeah. All right. So you take 9. You take 9 points of damage, of poison damage. It doesn't kill you.
All right.
It's just you're like. Oh.
Is there a long-lasting effect to?
Let's see. If a damage okay, the target is poisoned for 1 hour. It's stable, but okay, so it's paralyzed. So no, you don't have an effect unless it takes you to 0 immediately. If the bites finally get you to 0, then you are poisoned for an hour and paralyzed. Just like creatures that get caught. I like that they've kind of updated it a little bit that way. It's kind of cool. So,
All right.
all right, Mike. It wants to play with you. But fortunately, let's see, multi-attack. Alright. God. But I'm not going to give you 3. I'm going to go 2 with the longsword. So it'll have 2 on you. I'm going to disadvantage these a little bit because, yeah, they're a little more powerful than they used to be. They made Driders friggin'... Ooh, a 15 might not hit you. A 14 may not. Alright, we'll do a 3rd just for kicks and giggles, and that's a 9. All 3 of his attacks with his sword miss. And we will stop it there for the night with Veritas ready to just beat the living daylights.
Are you sure you don't have Vicious Mockery here equipped there?
Oh, that's great, guys. We had a 4-hour session. We normally don't get that.
That was amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And everybody did well. So, let me figure out here. I will put the experience up in Discord. So I don't keep everybody necessarily up or on. I'll post it in there within the next hour. I'll calculate it up and everything. That way we have that.
Rick, may I ask you something?
Yeah.
When do you have daylight saving? Because I have mine tonight.
Ooh,
So,
that's a good
I'm
question.
just wondering what time the next game's going to be.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Mine's just happened. So.
Let me look here and see. When is our daylight savings?
In the United States, it's November 1st.
Yeah, so next weekend. All right, so it's the next weekend. So one after yours.
So does that mean that it will be the same time?
Pretty much. I believe we stay on the same time. Everybody that has daylight savings, at least, it does. There are some areas that don't.
It would normally be like nearly 3 a.m. now, but it is actually nearly 2 a.m. So because it's just happened now.
Well, it doesn't matter if we change our clocks. We're still going to start at whatever time.
Yeah.
We start at 20 hours later. It doesn't change anything.
The good thing is if we're all on daylight savings, we all stay the same. So.
Cool. So I don't have to worry. Same time.
Mm-hmm. Well, and if it affects, or if you feel like it's going later, I mean, we can see people want to move it to 5.
Bad. My fear was that I would log in and people wouldn't be there, or that I would log in too late, or something like that.
Nah, we won't do that. I'll make sure to note everybody, like I do saying, hey, X amount of hours till game time. I'll do that so that everybody has it in their minds, because I know sometimes we're not thinking about it, and all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, yeah, that's right, we got to get on in this time. So. Everybody gets an inspiration point for this one. So that was awesome.
Where are you putting the XP at? Where are you going to post it?
I will post it into, let's see, where's our little deal here? Into the Discord under Experience and Treasure, under the session. So you'll see it up there under Experience and Treasure. And I do that one, and that's kind of a locked one other than Keisha, if she calculates something on treasure or figures something out. I just kind of locked it down so we don't put a lot of chat in there, and it moves away, and somebody's got to sort back through like 10 messages to get to it. That's why I did it, just to make it easy to follow. But awesome job, everybody. And I know I won't get to tell everybody this, but happy Halloween or Samhain or whatever you want to call it.
The weird one with the COVID and that you can't just go trick-or-treat now.
I know. Well, you know what they did? Over here in the U.S., Reese's Cups did a little door. It's a Halloween door. It's a robot that runs around. And when people ring the doorbell on it, it stops. And it'll dispense candy out of the candy dispenser.
Oh, cool.
It's pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, still get some contact, but kids are less likely to get the oogie bad stuff from that. So.
Rick, I've been picking cantrips and spells, and the ones I'm preparing that day will be done in red with red dots.
Okay, perfect. That sounds good. All right, everybody. Amazing session. Loved it. Loved the role play.
Yeah, amazing.
Lots of fun. So I'll calculate up the XP. Keep an eye out for it. And it should be up hopefully about an hour. I should have it up.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of the weekend.
Yeah.